Yeah, age, NIST, Honest Romero. I've actually never asked him where the Romero comes from because that's not his last name. But it started with them, and then just little by little, man, just finding guests, and it's mainly like people that understand the culture of hip hop.
Yeah.
The things that minorities are enduring out there, and it doesn't matter what race, but it doesn't matter what race you are as long as you understand. But the majority of our guests have all been Black or Hispanic music artists, or one of them was an actor, and then we had a politician.
If you need this, that's better, much better. But
Does that change you much?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, wow. That's cool. So you're mainly like a hip hop podcast, essentially?
I would say we're hip hop culture.
Hip hop culture.
Hip hop culture, and all things that affect the culture of hip hop. Which comes down to society and like just the struggles of the everyday Black and brown person.
What do you think about Logic? Have you ever talked about Logic yet?
The rapper?
Yes.
You don't know.
I like him. Definitely, like lyrically, he's in another place. I think his hardest part is trying to establish where he's at.
Yeah.
So I mean, he kind of came out of nowhere. He's been doing it for a long time.
Very long time.
Right. But as far as like he kind of burst on the scene, at least 10 years.
He came out like that whole Under Pressure, the Rat Pack.
Rat Pack, yeah.
Crew. That was around the time of like, I want to say he's around the same time as J. Cole, right?
So basically like 2010, 2009, so it's about 10 years.
He was on a trail. Like he was around there with the G-Eazy's and all those dudes. Like I think he was around there.
Yeah, and so he's a black and white rapper. I mean, as far as his culture and stuff, but he looks very white. So then there's people who are like, so when he goes certain angles, it's like, well, how do we take this? Because visually and just kind of the way he comes off rather white. But so then if he wants to like throw it in there, it's like, wait a minute, who's this white kid? So it's like, so he's kind of, where do we play? Because it's like, well, you had the permission, which is kind of, we brought that up before, like, well, who gets permission, so to speak?
It's such a heavy topic. That space. Yeah, I mean, he's very talented. I give him the most props in being determined. He has an interesting upbringing. Very like,
probably rougher than most.
Yeah, rougher than most, but I want to say maybe he gets highlighted just because of his skin color. I'm sure there's so many other people like that in that sense.
Because he's white, or because he's white in a predominantly black industry?
I think that.
Probably
the same because, so many other people I'm sure had crazy upbringings, rough upbringings. He's very talented. I don't like his music personally, but that doesn't mean I can't respect someone's craft and their dedication and talent.
Sure.
I think that's something I've learned as I got older. Like, I can not like his music, but I can see you hustle and grind. I can't really knock on that.
Right. He's cool. Logic is he's very talented. He's an awesome freestyler.
Yeah.
Has good music. Personally, like I think I can listen to an album, and then that's about it. Like it's just kind of like I don't know, but he's really, really talented.
He's very talented.
Can't believe he divorced that girl. It dropped my idea of Logic when he divorced her. I'm like, no.
Wasn't it like a really good couple? And she said like he's not having fun anymore or something. And it's like, what?
How could you not?
She's just like,
she seems like the happiest person. She's just happy. I mean, maybe it's an Instagram just portrayal, just social media portrayal.
He's like, I've been there, done that. Like I've done like where is this going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can kind of.
Yeah, he said he wanted to be single, which I can understand. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. But no, I didn't mean to start off with him. He's a very cool guy.
No, it's cool. Logic is a good starting point when you talk about hip hop because of that, because of the skin color.
But it's just kind of like.
But then at the same time, you've got
J. Cole's the same way. J. Cole's the opposite.
Well, so it's interesting. Sorry, Slug from Atmosphere.
Yeah.
He's half black, half white. He mentioned it like twice.
Yeah, but I think he's not as visually in front. Like, because I mean
mentioned what? He's mentioned what twice?
That he's half black.
Right, but like you know what I mean. Like their place, like they're not as prominent.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who also makes great music.
Oh, he makes
by the way.
amazing music.
But-
Atmosphere in general makes
Yeah.
amazing music. Slug and Ant just make great music. Murs, Felt, amazing
Yeah.
music. But yeah, I didn't mean to start off with.
That's how it goes organic.
It just
It's
sucks, man.
whatever.
There's so many other people like. I like right now. Gucci Mane, his transformation.
Yeah, the new Gucci Mane. I like the new Gucci Mane.
Like
This last.
It took me a
season.
while. It took me a long time to get into Gucci. A long time.
Yeah.
I've actually seen him in concert 2 or 3 times.
Really?
Each time I was like, because he was part of another set. Like I think 2 of the 3 times was at a what did we just have? The
BET.
ET Experience.
You
2 of those.
went?
Yeah,
You
been the past
went?
few years in a row, except this year. But he was just up there and just like, ugh. But he's cool. He's cool. I've come around to him. He's got like 300 mixtapes out.
Does he have
He moves.
300?
He hustles.
Something like
He-
that.
Yeah.
300 mixtapes.
I can see that.
He's pretty much responsible for a lot of Atlanta, like a lot of the artists that are out. Because he's just been like that kind of like a godfather
He's the father.
in that thing. So I mean, you guys pretty much anybody.
Gucci is?
Yeah.
Like the godfather of Atlanta?
Like a lot
the
of
trap,
them.
Atlanta
like
trap.
The
I
trap.
don't want to take away from Outkast.
Yeah. Or.
No, but
yeah,
he's in
yeah.
that line.
Well,
He's in that same. What about?
yeah, as far as like where it's at, not like I don't understand like start, but absolutely like Outkast is they're in a whole them and Goody
Yeah.
Mob and all like
Yeah.
they're in a whole nother
Dungeon Family.
space. Yeah,
Mhm.
but as far as like a lot of the newer ways, even if you go back, like yeah, there's a lot of these new ones that they're like yeah man Gucci.
Gucci.
He was the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He has a song called Father's Day in one of his albums. And I get nothing for Father's Day. But I mean, well, in that sense, where do you think? Where does that leave T.I. Young Jeezy? Because they were also pioneers in their own way.
Oh, absolutely. I just think as far as a lot of the newer ones,
Yeah.
a lot of them point to him directly.
Yeah.
I mean, not as far as like a hierarchy, because T.I. is definitely in his, he kind of coined the word like that, trap music.
There's such a debate about that.
Yeah, but I mean, at least made it the most popular, recent, whatever. I mean, yeah, there's always some technicality of, well, this guy said it back in
Yeah.
97,
Right.
where was he at? It's like, well, where was he at? Like,
Yeah.
he said it in 3 Streets Knew It. Like, does that really count? That's the whole tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound? Like, if nobody knew you did it,
Yeah.
So, it's cool. Just kind of checking out all that.
Yeah. His progress in general as a human being, I really admire. Because he's been in jail so much and
Right.
him being sober. He looks sober as fuck. Like
For Gucci? Yeah, he
looks-
went that. I
He's
mean,
huge.
he's all buff, and him and his wife seem to have like a really good thing going.
Yeah,
Right.
man, it's
So-
great.
She held him down. Like, I mean, he was
What's her?
like,
How do you say
in
her name?
prison.
Keisha Noir,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so, like, she was, like, when he did not, like, you're at the bottom. Like, dude, you're in jail. You're facing some big time.
Yeah.
You're huge.
Yeah, you're
like,
huge.
like,
The wrong
yeah,
way huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
the
mean,
right way
huge financially, but you're also huge body-wise. And then just
Yeah,
like,
dude.
look, I can't keep doing this.
That's tough.
And this is hard on my family. It's hard on my kids. It's hard on my girl. Like,
What's his connection to QC? Does he have?
I think you're just affiliated.
yeah,
maybe
there. I
in
mean,
Atlanta,
it's still Atlanta. Yeah, because he runs a lot of stuff. I'm not sure, like, beyond that. I'm sure there's something, because when you're in that circle,
Yeah.
like, hey, that's my homie. Could be his cousin. I don't,
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're always hanging out. I mean, like Migos and Yachty and them and Gucci are all together. So I
Yeah.
don't know if, like, maybe there was if Gucci worked for, or I'm sorry, if QC worked for him at some point, or
He could,
however.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a connection somehow.
Who's Coach K? There's Coach K too.
Okay.
Coach K mentored Uzi. No, he mentored. God, what's his name? Lil Yachty,
Okay.
and he also mentored Gucci, I believe.
Yeah, because Gucci, he's running, like, because his mom runs a lot of stuff. It's like Waka and all that was on there with them.
His mom?
Brick Squad.
Yeah, like she's like a manager for like a lot of their
No
stuff.
way.
Yeah. You got your
Yeah,
mom.
I didn't know that.
Brick Squad.
Yeah. So
Gucci's mom?
yeah.
Or is it
What's
Gucci's
her-
mom
what's
or
her-
was it Waka's mom? I want to say one of the moms.
One of the moms
Yeah.
is like runs the label. So like it's.
Did she come up in music?
I don't
She
know if
must
it was
have.
just maybe just like, look, I know how to balance a checkbook and I can talk to people, so we'll just kind of figure it out, and then you just go and hit the library and learn some stuff.
pretty awesome.
So I mean, that's cool that you can work that close hand in hand with like a parent.
Yeah. I
Yeah, they
think.
control you. It's like the only person that can actually keep you in check
Yeah.
that you'll have to listen to is your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Like, even your manager and agent, you'll say no to sometimes, but your mom,
No, I even tried that before. So
You tried saying no to your mom
like,
before?
so my mom's in, so like my mom's in education. When I first started, when I first got out of high school, like I took a job as like a teacher assistant. So I would just work at different schools, and then there was a time I had to work with my mom for like a week. That was probably like the longest week ever, because it's like, okay, well the school day is over, I'm ready to go, and she's like, I need you to come help me with this. I'm like, but I'm done with work, and but it's like stuff helping her with work, but my work day is over. She's like, that's cool, but like I'm your mom, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, like how do you? Yes, like your work day is over, but it's not over because now she's in mom mode now.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
That's funny.
Then I guess in the reverse, I can see how moms are, because they can be stay-at-home moms, but like they have like work from the morning to wake up and take care of the kids to everything. So yeah, that's tough working with family. I was gonna say there might be conflict of interest.
it could
in that
be,
sense.
it could be, especially if you have to like sever ties at some point, like if you're like LeVar and like,
Yep.
you know,
But if it's mom, there's probably more positive than there are negative, because like they're legitimately looking out for your best interest at all times.
Unless you're Eminem. No, I was kidding.
His dad just died.
Eminem knew his dad?
So I didn't even know when I read it. I was like, wait a minute, how do we
Maybe
even know
later-
this? That's
maybe
what I said. I was
later
like,
in
why do
life.
we even know this?
I
yeah,
lost-
probably later in life.
I lost interest in Eminem.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Listen to Kamikaze. It'll bring you back.
It depends on why. Why did you?
Oh, yeah, okay, that's true. It depends on why.
Depends on why you lost interest.
You know, man, so I stopped listening. I listened to some of Relapse, a good amount of Relapse. No, Recovery.
Okay.
I think it has to do with, looking back at it now, I think it has to do with the beats,
Okay.
right? Because people hated Relapse. A lot of people did. I love Relapse. The
Okay.
zany,
Yeah.
that accent.
Which one's the one before Kamikaze? Is that Relapse or Recovery?
Oh, this is
I wanna
Marshall
Oh
Mathers.
yeah, Relapse
Yeah,
is, wait,
Marshall
that's right.
Mathers
That's the
too.
one with like shake that
And,
ass for me.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
Relapse.
all that
Yeah,
stuff
okay.
like that.
Relapse is like the We Made You.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Man, you know, like, to me, Eminem, he's solidified his place in the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
He's everything, right? He's cool, but I think to me, it's just, I miss the old Slim Shady flow, the slow, you know, not like slow, but like, hi, my name is, you're like, something from Marshall Mathers LP.
Sure.
Yeah, just like the little wacky side.
I think like with Eminem, and I think all of us as fans fall into it, but he came in like out the gate. He was already like the best rapper, best lyricist on the radio when he came out. Like on the radio wise, who else was a better lyricist the moment he came out with Slim Shady
So,
LP?
what year was this? 98?
It was 99, 98.
99?
Yeah.
I mean, you had no staff. Oh, well, radio.
Radio play. That's what I mean. Radio play. So I'm saying like he skyrocketed. Of course, there was better
I mean,
lyricists
at that point,
out
you
there.
pretty much had like Nas, Jay-Z was really in their bag at that point. DMX had just came out.
DMX.
You had who else was-
So what I mean is like so he came out, and I mean he had Boom That, then you had Chronic 2001, and then you had the Marshall Mathers LP too. Like all three of those I think dropped in like the span of 18 months, if not less. So then everything afterwards, like the movie and you know The Wash and like all his features in other albums, were still Eminem, but they weren't like what Marshall Mathers, because like he came out with Slim Shady LP, which was here, and then Marshall Mathers LP was like.
Yeah.
And then the Chronic 2001 was like just, you know, one of Dre's,
Classic.
yeah. So I think we spent a lot of time, including himself, comparing to his old stuff. And when Recovery, is that the last one? The second two last ones? Recovery came out that everyone hated. I disliked it too because it was like rock and there was like soft music. But then he just said F it. And he came out with Kamikaze and like
Oh, that was Revival.
a revival. And that one was terrible.
That was horrible.
That was horrible.
That was horrible.
But then he came out on Kamikaze and he's like, hey, fuck it.
I'm just gonna do what I
I'll
want.
just do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm gonna call whoever, whatever I'm gonna call them,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and it was incredible. Beats wise, you know, you had Dre doing
It's
his first
hard.
couple of years.
It's hard to like, you know, when you get off, when Dre was your guy for the beats, it's really tough to like match that.
Mhm.
So I don't blame anyone for.
And he does a lot of his own beats too. So there's
Cool.
the Eminem.
He does now.
He's
Renegade
been doing
was
a lot
tight.
of beats.
Renegade
a lot
was
of
cool.
beats and
So
stuff
then
like
on top of that, we also discount the fact that he went through all these personal struggles himself, and these are artists. They're still human beings. You know, art is an expression of what you're going through in your life. So if he's struggling at home, he's maybe struggling at work too, and we hear the byproduct of his art expression.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's why Kamikaze to me was so beautiful, because he took he accumulated everything that he'd gone through, both positive and negative, and then said, "F it, here I go again," and just took it back to like he just somehow found that genius gene in himself and put out another album in that. But again, like that was a good question. Like, what made you fall off originally?
The fast rap, man. Him like. He's like what 40, 50 years. No, he's 40 something. 50
He's in his
almost.
mid
Man,
late
like
40s.
you're like clowning on like the little Uzi verse and stuff. Like, bro, like we get it. Like it was cool when you're clowning Britney Spears, 90 Degrees. And looking back in hindsight, they're defenseless, man. The only person ever really, I guess Fred Durst could have said something, but like Everlast, I guess could have. I guess ICP could have, but like looking back, looking back.
Well, looking back, he single-handedly ended the boy band era.
He did.
Eminem did, because it became uncool. And like I grew up as a huge boy band
98
fan.
Degrees. I saw that.
98 Degrees. Backstreet Boys.
I was there.
We went to the Backstreet Boys concert. We went. It was freaking, and it was awesome. It's like I think I have it ranked as like it's tied for the Damn Tour as my best concert that I've ever been to. But yeah, he totally freaking ended them, all of them.
He was like, "You're done." I think the other part that's hard as an artist and an artist with longevity that he's had is, as fans that you've watched throughout the time, there's a certain bar. I don't care what music genre you're in, whether you're rock, rap, country, whatever. Like there's that one album that it's pretty much hard to beat. So like you keep going. It's like at some point you fall off, or you like you drop that one. You know what I mean? So like even like whether you're Jay-Z and you dropped the one where after he came back and it was like nah, we can skip that or whatever. But or Nas, he's been through the same thing where there's certain albums where
it's
you're like,
hard for Nas.
Yeah, you know.
His first album is Illmatic, like how can you top that?
Right. So some people like that's the bar. Like there's nothing past. There's other other ones were good, but it's like there's certain ones. So it's hard to stay like the top album.
I think Kendrick's the next one that's going to suffer from that because Section 80 was good. Then you had Good Kid, Mad City was phenomenal.
My favorite.
To Pimp a Butterfly was phenomenal, and then you come out with Damn, which is phenomenal on two different sides. You have one the hip hop, the real deep rooted hip hop, and then on top of that it's commercial play. So not only is it really good, everyone's listening to it.
Right.
So like now what do you do? So then he comes out with the Black Panther album.
Right.
And like so now what?
Right. So then where do you go next?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard to keep that pace because eventually you're going to drop something that's like, well, I mean,
it's part of it.
It was cool because you have the expectation. already.
Yeah, I just don't like the whole bullying thing. I mean, looking back, it's like, damn, I was super like saying all the homophobic slurs he was saying because I thought it was cool at the time. It was the 90s, not an excuse at all. It was like, damn, I said that shit. Like I said that was okay.
Yeah, but everyone said that, right?
That's true.
So it kind of was cool at the time because I mean it was. Like that, we kind of mentioned that before, like the cancel culture that we're in right now.
Let's talk about it.
And where people now, like somebody gets famous, and so now let's go back and find some interview from 10 years ago or some tweet from 8 years ago. It's like, oh, look what you said over here. And it's not that they've said anything since, but I mean, at that, human being, we all will do something or say something that's going to make somebody upset.
Yeah.
We all have, and we all will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you kind of have to look at the totality of a person to kind of say like, okay, that's who they are as a person. So like you were saying, like I felt bad I said that. It's like, well, at the time, like that, it was like the #1 album. It sold like 10 million copies with all of that in there, which means everybody was co-signing that. Everybody knew every word, every song. Everybody going to the thing because it was, it was the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why like you can have like think about Ellen's one of the biggest like celebrities in the world. But when she came out on her show back in like 96, 97, and she's like, I'm gay on her show, like that was the end of the show. But if you did that now, they'd be like, wait a minute, NBC, how are you canceling her because she said she's gay? Oh my God. And people out there picking it. But back then it's like, well, shouldn't have been gay. You should have kept that to yourself. Should have stayed in the closet. Should have did whatever. Because that's where we were at that time. You know what I mean? Go back even a little bit more. Like there was a point in time people would, oh, you got AIDS, you're about to die tomorrow. Like don't look at me. Oh, can we shake hands?
You don't have to go back that far from that. It's actually go a couple of years with Magic. Everybody's like, people didn't want to play.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's like 92 when he was about to retire and wanted to come
players
back.
Would not play with him.
No, they're like, what if he sweats on me? Like, what if he gets a cut? And if he gets a cut, like, am I going to get it? But then, like, now it's like,
So
I mean, there might be somebody who has it right now, playing in the league, but nobody knows or they don't.
It's all based on growth, right? So
Right.
like if you grow from experience. So like if you grow up using, the fag word, right? That's the word that we're talking about, right? We all said it, right? But it didn't necessarily mean what's implied, right? But once you learn that, hey, that this is what it means and offends certain people, so you choose to either like, no, what it means to me is more important than what it means to them, or you grow and it means more to them than it does to me. So what do I value more, right? So like he he did grow from it, other than he did call Tyler that in his album, and then Tyler came out, so it was like, all right, you messed up there. I want him to apologize for that. Outside of that, if he apologizes for that, I think we're good. But again, back to growth, right? So like he did bully and all that stuff, and if you tie what you were saying earlier, which is like he's bullying on the Lil Uzis and stuff, I personally think he's bullying more on the culture of hip hop music, or like what mumble rap is. When someone that's like a devoted hip hop historian, right? Like he totally believes in lyricism and like the Pacs and the Biggies and going far back into like what he values as what rap music is. And these guys are out here not taking it seriously, like just right? So to these guys, it's kind of an issue. Like if you take an old an old basketball head, like a Charles Barkley, he'll believe that, hey, you need to post up, use your body, turn around, use your feet, whatever, get a little shot. These guys today, they're like, nah, why? Why am I gonna put the strain on my ankles and on my knees? Why don't I just develop a 3-point shot or a 20-footer and I'll have a career for life? It's just the old school thinking versus the new school thinking. And if you can grow, if you can adapt, then you'll find a connection point with the newer stuff.
Yeah. Not to say, I mean, like for me, when I listen to Eminem's music, I get it. Like you're lyrical, it's great, it's fun, but like to me, it's like I think he might have plateaued.
Yeah,
that could happen.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, he's one of the best. But the Logic feature made me like, the Homicide. I'm like, okay, all right, I guess.
I'm trying to understand Logic right now because like he had this feature with Eminem and then he had the Joyner Lucas one where they never told me that they stopped beefing.
Yeah,
I was still.
That was kind of like okay, we're done.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Was it been we're just kidding the whole time?
Right. I mean, it's kind of like how like Meek and Drake, they drop songs now, so it's like.
Yeah, but that's because Meek went to jail and like Drake
right.
showed him some love. At least you have
at least you still like, all right, you know what? Beyond all the end of the day, you're still a guy. Like, you know what? Like, I don't want that.
I heard the Joyner Lucas beef was because of Logic biting, but whatever.
Logic biting?
Yeah, that Suicide song apparently, what I heard on like Everyday Struggle and stuff was, who was it? They played that for like, I think Joyner's manager played a song that was similar to that for Logic and his manager, and then out of the blue came out, and then I think Joyner was kind of salty about the Tech 9 feature, like Logic took forever to drop it.
What?
Yeah, Logic took forever to submit it, and then something like, and he like, I'm not gonna rap fast because it's like even, or something like that. But then you're supposed to because Joyner and Tech are on it. But other than that, enough of that. Positive stuff. I like Griselda a lot.
Oh, okay.
Griselda. Benny the Butcher.
He dropped an album too, like the plugs I met.
Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, Conway the Machine. There are 3 artists from Buffalo, New York, which makes it special because there's not a lot of artists that came from Buffalo.
No, not at all.
They're currently signed to Shady.
Yeah.
Well, the group is. Them individually, I don't know.
What are they called?
Griselda is
Griselda?
like the group, and then like at the individual. So there's like, he said like Conway the Machine and Benny the Butcher and what was the other one you just said?
West Side Gun.
West Side Gun, yeah.
They're more the street rap. These ad-libs make everything. They're really dope. I think they're one of the they're bringing that like street hip hop back with like the kind of beats. They're kind of like the.
Kind of remind me of like the Locks.
Yeah.
Like that type of style. Like if you just gritty.
Very gritty.
Just like from the beats to like what they talk about, it's just like it's still. Just heavy streets. Like
and from Buffalo. Sweet.
Yeah. They're very talented. You guys listen to Joe Budden podcast?
He does.
Yeah. That's
I listen like when when there's something that I'm interested in listening to him talk about. I like him. He's cool.
He's very cool.
It's just a lot to listen. They're 2-hour-long podcasts.
They're good though. I haven't listened
2 hours.
I haven't listened lately, but I used to listen a lot.
I'm not gonna lie, I was listening on the way down here.
Really?
Because it comes out on Saturday.
Well,
Yeah, Saturdays and Wednesdays.
You pointed out that he lists what topic is being talked about at what point, like right. So like if something happens that I'm interested in, he actually writes it. He's like, all right, we talk about what and whatever at the 48th minute and 32nd second. I'm like, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll listen to him like that. I'll drop in.
Just keep it. And I don't know. I like this the vibe, and I listen around to other people just to kind of get ideas. Mm-hmm. So like the minute thing, like that, I was like, that's right up his alley. We were very specific. Like I don't have to waste any time. Like let me see. Okay, we talked about this, and this at this time. Like I'm not saying we have to, but that's just an idea if you're ever thinking about something different, or just maybe the way they interact, or some setup that some group has, or whatever, just the way, or some segment. Like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Not to bite their segment, but to, how can I take that and then make it better or more interesting or something? Because as you listen, that's pretty much the way you do it. Like even so much as like a podcast, like it's not new. There's not 5 of them. There's just tons of them. Yeah. So you just kind of see, well, what can I do to make mine a little different than the next person?
Yeah. How did the name ShipHop ShipHop Hour come about? That's a really cool name.
So we were trying to figure out a name. We're just trying to figure out something, and on my side, I was trying to find something that rhymed with hip hop because it's so solely based on hip hop. And then he had other thoughts as well, but we were trying to find a way to mesh our two different but same cultures together. And it just hit us one day, like we just thought about it, like our ancestral background. So his ancestors came here on a ship, mine hopped over, ship hop, and it became the ShipHop Hour.
Oh, that's clever in that kind of way.
Yeah, because it ties multiple things. It ties hip hop, it ties how he got here, it ties how I got here.
Then just kind of because we talk about like culture of like the people in the group, so like we'll talk about like border immigration and,
I heard how that,
you know, how that plays into our lives, positive and negative, you know, and different things. I mean, he works more with a lot more of those type of populations in one aspect, more so like the parental side, because people you work with, this and that. I work in like schools, so there's a lot of kids that affects, that they come in, it's like, yeah, my dad just got taken out last night. So if your dad just got pulled in immigration, that probably going to affect how that kid performs in school.
Yes.
And their future.
Yeah, exactly. So now, like, well, do we have to go back to Mexico, or are we going to be here? Yeah. It's kind of hard to care about school when your dad's gone.
Yeah.
Like, just like that, you know what I mean?
And especially if you're a boy, your life changes because now you're the man.
Yeah.
Right.
I think in general, a lot of the times in like a lot of inner city areas or a lot of trouble areas, like, you know, why are you going to focus on school when you have like trouble at home or like, you know, in between the streets and stuff? And I think it's something to take into consideration that these kids aren't necessarily like less intelligent, but they have a lot of shit going on.
Right.
Developing PTSD that a lot of kids may not experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, like in what I just mentioned too, the fact that like if you pulled the dad out, right? You grabbed the dad and you took him out. So now this young man or young lady, whatever, they have to help contribute to the house because most of the time the mom isn't working. Maybe she works a couple days a week cleaning somebody's house. You know, we're talking about the Latinos, of course, right? So like, the mom's working a little bit now. How the hell are they going to pay rent? How are they going to feed, right? So these kids, it's easier for them to go work and get some money than it is to really, and more beneficial to them in the immediate future to go get some money to contribute than it is to go to school and perform and do well. They're trying to. Maybe they want to. And, you know, life just goes on. You do that for a week, then you do that for 2 weeks. Before you know it, you do that 3 months, 4 months, they drop out of school. So what's happening? What are these children how are they going to develop into members of society? Are they going to contribute positively forward, or are they just going to be stagnant? And that's what happens. They just become stagnant, and the same thing keeps on repeating itself because they don't get any of the tools. You know, if anything, they're pulling out one of the primary roles in their life. You know, and they grow with a fear of police, a fear of what could happen to their other. It's just, it's crazy, man.
Prison pipeline.
Yep, there's a lot to deal with.
Also too, what a lot of the media doesn't really talk much about is
It's okay.
a lot of Asian immigrants are also being taken into ICE. a lot of Vietnamese, Southeast Asian, because a lot of them did not necessarily come. They came here as refugees from the Vietnam War, Cambodia, all that stuff.
Right.
And a lot of them may not have paperwork, and ice rounding them up. And they've been here for years.
Really?
Yeah, but years. Different Asians have different reasons for coming here. Like I'm Filipino. A lot of us came here because better opportunity. A lot of us are nurses because that was a way to go. Like a lot of nurses back then were given, like, if you're a nurse here, you'll come to America, you'll get a job. That's why a lot of Filipinos just here are nurses.
Right.
It's like a safe path. Many Vietnamese in general, like in the 70s and 80s, they came here because of persecution, because of the Vietnam War and everything, and then in Cambodia, what went on there.
Mm-hmm.
So different Asians came.
They came as refugees?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this so much,
Yeah.
that's how this country was founded.
Yeah.
Like, they all came here as refugees.
Right. Even the people from England.
Yeah.
Refugees, better opportunity kind of
Right.
thing.
Well, I mean, they were being persecuted for religious purposes.
Right.
So, like, they wanted to be Christian, they're like, no, you gotta be Catholic, or however that worked.
Or Protestant.
The church
and
of
then,
England.
yeah.
So, like, this country was founded on that, and then now we're ignoring the asylum part, we're ignoring the refugee part, like, nah, let's draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
We're here, you're not supposed to be here, get out.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Really
like
interesting.
that goes, so like whether that's Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, or Vietnam, the Philippines, or whatever, it's like, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's
It's
actually how the
terrible.
spotlight moves, though. Because like you said, this is happening all around, but when they talk about illegal immigration, ICE, and all that, it's not the Asiatic ones. It's all the people. From
Yeah,
below
I
the border.
hadn't heard that at all.
It's kind of like, because what's said about Asians in general is like the invisible minority. It's quiet. A lot of people think we're not minorities in general just because like, we're good in school and all this stuff. But there's different factors into it. A lot of stuff going on, and it's like kind of quiet. Asians are seen as like in general docile, quiet, like do good, just keep your head down. I think it's because it's a lot of the cultures like that in Asia where it's more of a collective. Where here it's individual. Get yours, like do your thing. And Asia it's more like, well, let's see what's better for the whole family, the whole group. That's why, touching on mental health, Asians are like the least to use mental health resources because it's still new in like Asia. That's still like a new thing. This mental health.
Really?
We don't see it. It's all in your head. Yeah.
Right.
No kidding.
Yeah. Philippines kind of like pray.
So culturally, that has to be something tough to grow up with here. If your parents are immigrants,
Yeah.
and you are suffering from some sort of personality disorder where your parents are not gonna, probably don't take it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously the more severe mental health ones are like, they believe it, but it's kind of
Like Down syndrome or something.
yeah, that, but it's kind of like hush hush. There's a lot of suicides that go on, but like no one talks about it, ashamed of the family kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's really interesting. It's
Really?
not- yeah.
Well, no, Joseph, he's just not here no more.
Yeah, I mean, like it happens, but it's,
What happened? He went away.
He went
yeah,
away. He's gone.
kind of don't talk about it, kind of hush hush, shame on the family kind of thing.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like in Japan, I mean,
He just stopped showing up for family events.
I can't speak for Japanese culture, but there's a forest in Japan where people just go commit suicide because they feel like they failed at something. I mean, I don't know in general.
Forest where people go?
There's a forest, people go. It's not like that's what it's for. People go there to, It's for that Logan Paul.
Yeah,
dude
Logan
was
Paul. I was going to say that. Yeah. 'Cause
What?
Yeah. So he went and he was like in there with like a thing.
filming
Like, I'm
this.
trying
Is
to
that the
find
one where
it.
he filmed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he found
That
the
guy?
guy like hanging from the tree.
Yeah,
and he was
dude.
like, "Whoa!" And they're like goofing off with it.
And
It's
it's
like,
wild.
bro, like there's somebody who.
Yeah.
Did he not know that the guy was dead?
I don't
I
know.
mean, he didn't know if he was dead, but he knew what the place was. Like
Yeah.
that was going to be part of the thing. Like, let's see if we can find anything out here.
Yeah, dude.
What?
This was a couple years ago.
Yeah. So he lost like all like. I'm like, wow, that's pretty disrespectful.
That's
like,
very disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
That's
God.
Yeah.
It's almost like playing in the graveyard and we're like, let's see if we can find them and like kick over a headstone because it belonged to something. You know what I'm saying? Just
You don't want to
being,
see a dead body?
Yeah, exactly.
What's trippy is he was on YouTube. He was on live, and most of his audience are younger kids.
So
I'm not to say that like it'd be excusable if it was older, more mature, but these are impressionable.
Yeah, but know your space.
like 8 years old, 12-year-olds, and 13. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fuck him.
and just
I
be
never
like,
liked him anyway.
Me
yeah,
either.
and just show up and like, oh, you're just body hanging, and your 8-year-old's just like,
Yeah.
it's just.
I didn't. See
Although
that.
I will say this, for like Hispanic America, Telemundo, Univision, like we grew up with like dead bodies on the news. Like like the other day they decapitated they found 3 dudes. I'm not excusing him in any way, but they decapitated 3 dudes in Mexico, and they showed it on TV, like the 3 heads on a plot, like essentially like on a cafeteria tray, on the news. Like, and we grew up with that shit.
I think it's different because it's like it's political news stuff. This guy's just fucking around.
I agree.
This guy's like, oh, this is huge. I'm pretty sure in Telemundo they said like in Spanish something like, be careful, like, you know, you might be warned. Probably. There might be like certain
viewer discretion should be.
Yeah,
they might have. I don't know, man. Spanish news is really. If you ever try, I mean, you're Filipino, so they're the dialect and
they're very similar.
Yeah, it's incredibly similar. I have a tita, like my uncle married a Filipino, and she's been my tita since obviously like growing up. So like I actually even learned Filipino phrases and learned to communicate when I was younger with them. But anyways, yeah, man, Telemundo's crazy. Try it out sometimes.
I'll check it out. There's always that joke, like there's always that meme on Facebook, like the Latina weather.
Oh God, yeah.
There's a big difference.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I always know what the weather is in Cancun.
It's funny tying back to like Jake Paul and Gucci Mane. There was a feature. Jake Paul had a Gucci Mane feature in a song.
Wait, so he dropped it now?
Wait, Jake Paul dropped it? No, he was featured in a Gucci Mane song?
Jake Paul had a song, and Gucci Mane was a feature. But
what kind of, like a rap song?
A rap song.
Jake Paul rapped?
Here's Everyday Bro. And it's bad. And here's a song, and then Gucci.
It's bad as in good or bad as in bad?
I don't want to listen to it.
Oh, okay, good.
And I don't know if y'all listen to No Jumper, Adam 22.
I know you're talking about, but I don't really know.
One reason I'm doing this podcast now. Okay. But I listened to his stuff, and he was saying...
He's the guy that ran up on. Like
a
podcast with a gun.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like the kid, the clout shit, we'll talk about that. But, yeah, he did a song, and he was joking, like, damn, like, Gucci Mane didn't even, like, touch... He was, like, nowhere near Jake Paul in the video. He, like, stayed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I wonder how much Gucci Mane asked for. That's a lot of money.
Right.
But then again, Gucci Mane has a song with Justin Bieber, but people like Justin Bieber now.
Yeah.
Right.
He's older, but I don't know. He fucked up the lean prices. I'm not fond of that.
He fucked up the lean prices?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Prior
Justin Bieber or Gucci Mane?
Justin Bieber. Prior to, remember, you know.
Like lean, like codeine,
Yeah.
I'm assuming y'all are like older.
Yeah.
Remember like the Houston rap, like the tip it on fuck. I had no idea what the fuck. Oh, I had no idea what the heck lean was. Purple drink.
Right.
Oh, it's liquor, right?
double cup.
Right.
No one knew. I had no idea. I'm like, whatever.
Lil Wayne told us in the Carter 3.
Yeah. But like,
actually before that.
Paul Wall, Slim Thug,
I had no
Mike
idea,
Jones,
right? So, and no one used it. No, lean prices were good. It was all gravy. Justin Bieber gets caught with activists.
Oh, okay, I get you now. Yeah.
And the news, oh my God, what's activists? This is bad. Activist companies shut down because of that, right? And what does that do to the economy? I never really, I sit through in 7th grade because I was sick. That was it. But like, I heard the price went up. People were paying like thousands and thousands for like a fucking bottle of probably fake. Wow. But it's like, it's all because of Justin Bieber. I'm mad.
He like single-handedly like took out part of the economy.
I mean, like in general.
Well, in turn, then that means single-handedly save some people potentially.
That's
if
true.
If they price it out.
Yeah.
So Justin Bieber's out here saving lives. He's like Jesus.
I don't know, man.
Jesus Bieber, Jesus Bieber.
Oh,
can't do it.
That's slanderous.
Can't do it.
Come on, man. Dios.
I know. I like JB. Justin Bieber's
But you know, I want to say that I'm sure he grew.
Did you just do JB greater than JC? Why?
I'm sure he's mature, but I see him as still like that 12-year-old kid or that adolescent kid getting fights. His bodyguard holding him back. That's how I see him. But I'm sure. You know, I mean, Spotify called him the Latin King. You know, fuck that. You know.
JB, they call JB the
Spotify. He had that Despacito remix.
Oh gosh.
And Spotify fucked up big.
Maybe like a Prince.
He was
like a Prince deputy, like a deputy Prince,
like a jester.
Yeah. Deputy for the day.
They called him that. I'm like, you know, he's not Latino, right?
No, but I mean, dude. In all honesty, that song comes out in anywhere. It's freaking awesome.
I can't even tell who. Yeah, but like, you know, that's kind of
like my grandmother knows that song. My grandmother doesn't know any other music that came out post 1980 Post 1992. Whenever Luis Miguel's last album was, that's probably the last thing my grandmother remembers.
Was that his song or was that a remix?
Despacito?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a remix.
Who's the singer?
Luis something.
That's
Luis Fonsi.
bad.
Luis Fonsi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luis Fonsi.
See,
Yeah.
like he should get the credit, man.
He did get the credit,
I
like
hope
the
so.
first song, and then when JB hopped on and did that, like he still gets the credit. I mean, financially, he still gets the credit,
Yeah.
but JB made it worldwide, made that song universal.
Which is kind of like how Billy Ray Cyrus with Lil Nas X.
Oh, okay.
Your song was cool, but then we threw that on there, and
Yeah.
like it went to like another space that
there's
that it would not have gone to had he not
Global,
jumped on
like
there.
universal.
I like what Billy Ray Cyrus did. I think that's really cool.
Right?
He backed him up. I talked to a friend, shout out Malcolm. He's from Tennessee, and that's where a lot of the country
Yeah.
heads are. And like it was a race play. Like they didn't like, oh, it doesn't count as country. Yes, it does. Like the twang, the melody, but just because it's a black artist. Nelly did okay country. I want to say.
For like an hour.
Country rap.
Like that #1 song was fire. Does that count as country?
What do you mean? Oh, the one that he had.
Damn, #1.
No,
Oh,
he had the
not
before that, the one with Tim McGraw.
The over and over again.
Was that fire? I forgot.
I mean, it was on the radio.
I mean, it hit. I mean, it was like a top.
It hit multiple-
Like a number.
it hit multiple things.
Billboard #1, whatever. But just a straight. This would go country. Like this is a country song, legitimately from the guitars to the
Yeah.
melody.
It was
to the
fire.
whole
So
deal.
I went to Nashville last month.
How was it?
It's amazing. Nashville's an incredible,
I went
energetic
10
city.
years ago.
It's much different now. So like downtown, they like whatever. I don't know what used to be there. I think it was just grass. They decided to just build buildings, and every single building has multiple floors, with multiple bars, with multiple live bands per building. There's not a bar that you can go to that doesn't have live music playing. But where I'm heading with that is that Old Town Road is a song that you just hear everywhere. Like you will hear it 30 times within the span of 4 or 5 hours if you're walking. It was awesome. And you never got tired. I'm still not tired of that song.
I haven't listened to the whole thing, but from what I heard, that's like my favorite country song.
Old Town Road?
Yeah. It's fire. Like, from what I heard,
Oh, you mean you haven't heard to the whole album?
I know he dropped an EP.
You've heard the whole song, obviously. You mean the
Most
whole
of
album.
it.
Yeah.
Most of the
I
album.
mean,
Most of the
it's
songs.
only like a minute long. It's only a minute and a
I must have scanned. I don't think I listened to the whole full song.
He said, I don't even listen to country.
I heard-
All I need was 30 seconds of this one.
This is the greatest
Number one
country song ever.
The GOAT. You know,
The GOAT.
the GOAT of all country.
Yeah.
But how was Nashville, man? Because I don't know, maybe I'm just like super spooked, but just the whole like southern climate with like the whole political climate going on.
I'll say this. I have there's a person that I worked with that is from Nashville,
Okay.
and when I was in, he's kind of an asshole.
Okay.
And while I was in Nashville, by like day 3, I texted my coworkers and I was like, I don't know how in the heck this guy could be from here because these are the nicest human beings I've ever met.
Really?
Nashville was like, I've never met nicer people. Maybe like Chicago. Like Chicago is really sweet, wholesome Midwest people, but like Nashville was like they were like welcoming. Like
Yeah.
they were like super like here come on inside. Are you hungry? Have some supper. Like just everybody's like that.
I went to Nashville in 2007, and I do agree. I went there, and I'm like, damn, I went for I used to be in a fraternity and everything, and I went, and it was so friendly. This was back in the day where like, this is like the summer before they banned cigarettes inside, so you can buy cigarettes at like a bar and smoke inside. That was cool. I was
Oh, really?
smoking cigarettes back then. That was awesome. I was like 18, 19.
Mhm.
But I heard good things about Nashville. When I went, it was fun. But I just wonder, like, what the climate is now. And it's good you say that because I'm scared to go to anywhere.
I think if I would have gone any further, like outside of
that
Nashville,
makes sense.
then
Be different.
maybe. I mean, there's a lot of white people. That's for sure.
That's
like
fine.
a lot. So.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, I'm okay with it too, but again, when you're thinking of a political climate and then geographical location, like that's the part of the country that it's
Stay inside your fence. You're welcomed here.
Yeah.
Don't cross out these lines. Your welcome mat is over. Like
But I don't want to go. I want to stay in my welcome zone anyways.
no, I like it's nice, man. There's lots of good
It's
food. It's
Amazing place.
the weather's weird. It's windy. Did you know that?
It's humid.
I've never been there.
Yeah, they put up. So I went for the NFL draft, and they had these. There's this bridge that gets you from one place of town to the other, and they put up all these signs for all these for all the NFL teams. So you have thousands of people walking across this bridge, and then just out of nowhere they just these things that weighed like hundreds of pounds started falling, And the locals, they were already walking on the opposite side. They're like, ha, you transients, you didn't know it's windy in Nashville. They had to shut it down. It was crazy.
Yeah. Now, when I went, Nashville was a very like homey, like chill vibe. It was like Hollywood minus all like the fucking fake shit. It was super cool. People were very nice. And I'm like, wow, this Nashville's a nice place. But yeah, there was a big race play with the Lil Nas X thing. What else came out? Any other hip hop stuff?
Recently?
Yeah, that y'all want to talk
Wait,
about?
what would you say came out?
Well,
you said Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown just came out, I think. And kind of touching back what we said earlier, we were talking about like growth. Like that's another one. Like I know you were saying like the whole thing with like Rihanna and whatever, and that was definitely a rough patch, and it was like whatever. I think if he had a pattern of like regularly, like everybody he dated was like that same or a similar story, I think he would have probably faded off already, because it'd have been like, look, you can't just keep doing that.
Yeah.
But you're like 17, 18, True. You've been famous since you were like 15, you just, all this stuff just mounts up, and you're like, ah! And again, nobody really knows what happened in the car, except for them people in the car.
Well,
not saying that that's an okay reaction,
right.
but not really knowing exactly the reaction, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe she was screaming at him and she might have smacked him, and then he just went off.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And so it's like, but he's not gonna be like, yeah, well, she hit me first. Like, that's not gonna give you a vibe.
So on that documentary, when he talks about it, he's like, he does a good job of telling you his story, and of course the producers and editors have a good way of like, zooming in on his face, and like you start seeing like the little, emotions, and like, you relate a little bit with the way he's telling it. He's like, look, we're driving, we were at this event, and there was a girl there that like, she had asked me if I had slept with her, and I was like, nah, but they're in the car and she got mad. And like, so as a guy, he's putting you in the same place that you've been in, because we've all been questioned for stuff before, right? And then he says that they just start arguing and they're screaming, and he's kind of unfiltered about it, and he's like, they pull over or something, and as she's screaming at him, he's like, she hits me, and he's like, then I pushed her face into the glass, and then I punched her, but it's not like he wanted to, right? He doesn't say like, man, fuck this bitch, I'm gonna punch her in the face. He's like, I punched her, and then he just keeps going and going on talking about it, and you're just like, oh.
And you're like, I'm so, he's like, I'm sorry. Like, you reacted, then you didn't. Yeah. It's not a good choice.
Yeah,
but you're young.
But he seems to have grown from it, like you said. He hasn't had other stories like that. He's had other things, but he seems to be he loves his kid.
Yeah.
He's a great artist. We actually saw him perform at a Joyner Lucas concert, actually.
He popped out like a surprise.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. Really energetic.
Yeah. So that's came out. So I'm interested to see how it is, because 32 songs. That's a lot of album.
But here we are. We're always complaining about only 7 songs per album.
So it's like you either get 7 or you get 700. Which one?
Yeah.
You gotta make a choice. Which is better, because the one before that he had, what was it, like 50 something? Because it was 3. It was three albums, 3 discs.
His last project?
Before that, I think Love Heartbreak on the Full Moon or something.
Really?
Like it was like 3 hours worth of.
But like, why? Why not just like periodically drop them?
It's a play. So if you because when they do the counting the albums, it goes by length of songs, the length of the album or something like that. So it's like, well, if I give you this many and you listen all the way through, that's essentially you listen 3 times to this album based on the length of time. So that's how like Kanye, he drops an album and had like 7 songs on it. It's like just 38 minutes, which is enough to be considered like a full length album or something. So it's 38 minutes. So he's like, well, mine's 2 hours. So 38, okay, cool. So that's 3 spins. Yeah. So if I have 1 million people all listen to my whole album, so I just got 3 million listens. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a gameplay. So when you're trying to push out numbers, that's
smart.
So you're just playing the game based on how it's going. So you're like,
not bad.
Multi-platinum selling albums, like you didn't even have enough people listen, but
32 songs is a lot, though.
That is a lot.
That's gonna take me like a week.
Easily.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think albums now, like 10 is cool, 12. It depends who.
The only thing I don't like about today and the way albums come out is we don't get skits anymore. You remember listening to like the old?
Those are cool.
But you don't put skits. Like even back in
Really?
yeah, you think about like,
Kamikaze has a skit or two.
the only way you can do is you have to
Ken Connect.
yeah you have to like you have to include it within the track.
I think because essentially you can pay for songs individually.
Right.
You pay for a song.
Right, you're not gonna pay for a skit.
Yeah.
But they do have this.
That's just why it's like I miss the way it's set up. So you have to throw it in the back of a song or the front of a song.
Yeah.
In order for it to.
Yeah,
to
you
do
know,
it.
I do miss that. Those were cool, like the Ludacris skits and all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot don't even do it. Like you listen to the album, like they don't even they happen, but before it was like no, like mandatory. You at least have to have one.
Yeah.
Now it's like no skits, no extra chit chat, nothing.
That's true.
But I mean, I guess that it's the evolution of the game, and you just listen. Same thing like the songs themselves.
Well, I mean, because people drop singles now. We didn't have singles like this back then.
Yeah, because I'm not paying $2 for a single on a CD, which had that one and the remix and the instrumental. Like
I remember those. I remember those. Clean version, dirty version.
Yes, they give you the clean version, the dirty version, the remix, the dance hall remix, and then like just the instrumental. Like
That's funny.
Yeah, as an artist, the best thing to do is singles because it gives you more exposure. Because everyone's supposedly their attention span is shorter, but I think it's you have so much information being bombarded at you that it has to be shorter. They're like, you will be more visible if you put out 5 singles than if you put out one album.
yeah, you just you're still in front. Like, oh, they dropped a new one. Oh, they dropped a new one. But if you put an album, then it's like the moment is built up and then it's done. It's kind of like how Cardi took a while.
Well, I was gonna say that,
to
but
drop an album.
Like that kind of like cheats. It's like a cheat code to the game because she dropped Bodak Yellow, and like a year later,
Basically.
she drops her album, and like a minute and a half after it came out, it's certified platinum because it took all the listens of her one single from like 13 months ago.
Yeah. It can be said with Drake's releases, right? He puts out like one single and that counts on his.
Yeah,
they do that. They do that a lot, which probably is why DJ Khaled was so mad recently.
Yeah, he was upset.
He was upset because his came in number 2 behind Tyler's
I
album.
mean, Igor was better though.
But
Igor was like way better.
But he played the game the same way because he had the song with Jay-Z and Beyonce that came out like a year earlier, and he had a song with like Justin
Nipsey,
Bieber. Yeah,
And Nipsey
but then they came out like a year ago. So you've had a whole year on 2 of your tracks to build up all the listens, and then you drop then you had the big Nipsey song, and then so that's getting spins, and then you drop yours, and you still came in second. You're like, I did everything according to the formula I was supposed to win.
I don't think he expected. I don't think anybody. One at the time, nobody knew that Tyler was dropping an album.
Yeah, he was quiet about it.
Right, till like a week before. Like honestly, I mean, I don't think I even knew. Right,
Yeah.
like the day before, like literally the day before, I was
president
at
of the unofficial fan club.
Yeah.
the day before I was at the Golf Wing store.
Yeah.
And I had signed out there, says golf, and like I look in there and I walk around, and I was getting stuff for my daughter for her birthday. I didn't have my wallet. I just had my card, had some fraudulent stuff on it, so I had no card to pay with anything. I was like, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. And they're like, hey, the new shoes are dropping tomorrow. Like, you might want to get here a little early. It might be a wait. So I come back less than 18 hours later. Everything's changed. Took off the Golf Wing sign, says Igor, painted a whole numeral on the side. All the clothes inside had changed, and he drops his album.
Wow.
It was insane. Nobody expected that. So DJ Khaled did lose, but it was because Igor was that freaking awesome.
Is it that? I gotta listen because like you said with growth, I have to give artists I don't like in the past a chance. Because when I think of Tyler, I think of eating cockroach and talking shit about Tegan and Sarah.
About what?
Tegan and Sarah. It's this girl group. It's this group. They're like, and he was on his homophobic slur. Vibe.
Yeah.
So I think of him eating a cockroach, doing that, and I need to really.
So like you have to his growth really came in on Flower Boy.
Everyone says that. Is he? I mean, not that I cared. Is he really come out, or is he like a publicity stunt?
So Antwan got me on this podcast called Dissect.
Mm-hmm.
Which like they literally take music and they dissect it like just like you did to a frog or to like whatever in biology. The guy Cole Kushner, he like slices everything apart. And he's like, this little piece of music came from like he's referencing this song that came out by such and so in 1971, and there was a poem and whatever, and then it's crazy. But the song is called "A Garden Shed," and he goes through this whole thing, this whole album, Flower Boy. He starts from the very beginning that Tyler's hiding something. and he starts using all these little hints about him hiding something in particular. He has one song where he's like, you know, talking about brandishing, like, you know, your cars and money, and then he goes to his next song, which is like about what really values, and then he goes into Garden Shed, which in it, he without saying I'm gay, he comes out with like, I had to hide all these feelings, I thought it was a phase, but this is what I'm into, and he uses a play on words, he uses codes to say, rather than say I like dudes, he'll say something that, if you find the translation of this word, means men. Like, that's what he does in a clever way.
Interesting.
And then, so that's that one. That's a whole album of him just coming to his own. It's hardcore rapping. Like he rapped so well.
Yeah.
But then then he takes Igor, and he just makes. I mean, it's just wonderful techno, jazzy.
That's good.
I mean, it's just a mixture of everything.
That's good.
So
I need to give it a second shot.
Yeah, evolution and growth is pretty.
Yes, he
pretty
grew.
huge. And then I even like it. Not so much as drastic, but when you see artists that are, you know, they started in the 90s, early 2000s, and you see how like their music kind of aged with them. Because I mean, you're like I love 444, the one from Jay-Z, but it's not 96 Jay-Z where he's talking about like, you know, I was flipping coke on the street, and, you know, that you know that kind of stuff. I was on the street, you know, I was hand to hand, and you know, I was the king. He's like, you're not there. You're almost 50 years old. You got like a billionaire wife and kids at home, and you run all these companies. So like now, like, what are you talking about? And so like how he's, you know, how like now it's like, man, I'm just trying to set up legacy funds for my kids, and I'm trying to, you know, hey, I almost screwed it up with my wife, but like I'm trying to, you know, work things out. Hey man, don't be stupid. You know, I almost fumbled the, you know, whatever. Like he referenced Halle Berry's like one of her first husbands or something like that. I almost was that guy. Like, I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that where it's just more like,
oh, the mess around and lost Halle Berry, so the mess around and lost Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, you're talking about where you are right now, and not still like you're 22 or
I like
16.
that.
So that's a different growth. But I like just seeing that kind of progress.
I like seeing rappers over 30 like strive and mature and thrive, essentially. Two people that I want to mention that aged timelessly, Fabulous and Jadakiss. Dude,
Yeah.
like, Fab doesn't look a day older than like Hollaback Youngin.
Yeah.
And Jadakiss is just still Jadakiss, man. Like, I mean, I'll admit maybe his albums aren't like my favorite, but his features, he just kills it. Jada, yeah.
Did you hear the album that they did together? It's like Freddie versus Jason.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope.
That sounds crazy.
I think there was a sample clearance and they couldn't like call it Friday 13 or something.
Yeah, I think they couldn't get the clearance on the name, so like, well, we'll just do this.
That was a good mix, but they're awesome. Like, their legacy is just cemented. And
Well, Fabulous's last album was fire.
which one was he? I don't even know.
It was the one with the white cover.
Damn.
Think offhand.
I can't remember, but it was like less than a year ago. It was really good. It was way less than a year ago. It was like 6 months. You sent it to me.
Probably. I mean, I sent so much stuff. I don't
Fat
know.
Joe too. The Jim Jones album is amazing. El Capo.
El Capo.
Oh my god! I'm not from New York, but I felt like I was in New York. Like,
Right. It felt like a rap was calling.
it was like if I was in New York, I'd be like, oh, New York brought it back.
Right.
It is just, it's seeing him grow, because he wasn't always a rapper, he was like a hype man.
Right.
He never thought of Jim as like the lyrical guy, he just bowling, you know.
Yeah.
But the ad-lib game was dope, but like that was it. But he grew. Wasted Talent, I really slept on. His visuals are amazing. And then, El Capo just killed it. And it's really cool to see older guys, because everyone's, if you're over 30 and you're rapping, you're done, unless you're crazy.
What's wrong with you, Art?
But it's really cool, because I'm 31, and it's like, damn, I can still do it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What's his name? Benny the Butcher was talking about that recently. Like, he didn't even get into it until he was over 30.
Yeah.
Before he decided to start. Let me go ahead and talk to these people. Let me show you something.
And he was in prison, but yeah, dude.
Right.
Yeah,
But I mean, you could have just
Yeah.
been like, well, I'll just be your helper. It's like, no, I
That's
got
dope.
this.
That's
I got
dope.
this.
Same with Rick Ross, I think, or late 20s.
Yeah, some of them just, they got in, like, even Jay-Z was like 26,
That's
27
true.
before when he started out, you know what I mean? So it's still, you just have to just do it. If your product is good, then that's all it takes.
Yeah.
I was recently watching that, you seen that? Are you Wu-Tang?
I'm a big Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang, so they have on Showtime right now. They've got there's this documentary called Mike and Men, and he asked one of the guys asked like their brother, like, hey man, can you come manage us? And he was like, I need you to be all the way in. He goes, because I used to deal, and he's like, man, I just looked at the music as a product. Like, it's just like, hey, you know what? You cook it, you make it what people want. You put it out. It doesn't matter who's making it. If the product is good, people will watch. People will listen. They'll show up. But if you can't just throw out nothing, and then that's how it works. So whether you're 30, 35, 21, if they like it.
That was their manager? Their manager?
Yeah.
That's the beginning?
Yeah. He was like, he quit his job to go help. He's like, hey, I need to give 110% because I got a wife and kids. I got my regular full.
So the manager, he told them,
right.
I need you to give 110%.
Yeah, need you give 110%. Yeah, I'm giving 100%. Like, I'm walking away from my job. I have babies at home that needs food. Like, I will do this. But don't, I still gave up. No. I have a good city job. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Who was that to? Who did he tell that to?
He was talking to RZA.
He was talking to RZA.
Yeah, because RZA's like, come manage us. Like, I don't know how they make the connections. He's like, you know people, but he's like, I do, but I can't walk off unless you're going to give me all the, I need this. And he's like,
I haven't seen it yet.
What's your thoughts on, you know how, like, you shouldn't rap about stuff that, you don't do like the whole gangster rap thing, people, shot up, Tekashi 6ix9ine and stuff. What's your thought on, like, Pusha T, right? We all know he doesn't sell coke.
Okay.
But we love his music.
Yeah.
Rick Ross, I don't like how he bit for Rick Ross's name. But we know he doesn't do all that stuff.
Right.
When is like a line discernible to like, all right, you can talk about all the bricks and coke, but then you can't talk about this. Like the Tekashi, right? I mean, he didn't do all that stuff, but like, so how can we be like, push it? It's cool to push it because, like, we got it for cheap, re-up gang.
Right.
But then Tekashi here, I mean, aside from him snitching or whatever, but.
Well, I mean, you can go back to if you go back to like NWA.
Okay.
Outside of Eazy-E, like, what were they really doing?
I don't know.
They weren't gangbanging.
I don't know.
They grew up in oh my God, they grew up in Compton.
Yeah.
But they weren't really gangsters. But they were rapping about the gang culture, things that they actually knew. So like Pusha gets a lot of credit because he came from Clips. So like he's been in the game for so long. When it comes down to someone like Tekashi, there's differences because Pusha's not really saying, he's not out there he's not brandishing like cooking, selling, and like, I'm gonna do this life and I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fucking suck my dick, whatever, right? Yeah. Where Tekashi is, where he's doing all these, he was promoting, gun violence and the gang culture and using it comedically, honestly, and who's following him is like all these young kids, young white kids that look, well, not just white, all cultured kids that are just looking at this one rapper that is glorifying the gang culture, things that, and we've talked about this so many times, people live and die by the code of the streets.
Yeah.
And he's out there spitting on it, was out there spitting on it, pretending that it's just a game and that nobody could touch him. And as we always say, someone's touching him now.
Yeah. But also,
I think for me, when I see Neil, I look at all of it, music, as entertainment.
It's the same, yeah.
So I look at it as someone like Pusha or Rick Ross or whoever, Jay-Z, not any of those ones who has albums, even Griselda, we talk about some of those. Whether they did it or not, to me, I think music, hip hop especially, is one of the few areas where they feel that you have to have done it. I look at it as just entertainment. Like if it was Denzel Washington on Training Day, like he's not really that guy. He's just, hey, I'm just portraying a story. I'm portraying a character, making this story, and then once it's over, like that's it. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you enjoy the movie? Great, fantastic. So whether the person actually did it or didn't do it, for me, I don't really feel like that's the be-all, end-all to it. So whether or not Pusha T is or isn't still pushing weight hand to hand right now, but he drops an album where he's talking about that, it could be a story he remembered because he wrote it down. Because like you're just being creative. You're just writing a story, and this is the character that you're portraying. However, the difference between Pusha and say 6ix9ine, Push is like, I have a corporate job. I run good music. I'm the president of good music. I'm putting out artists. I'm doing this day to day. But I have this really great story, man. If I was going to tell this gangster story about pushing Drake, it's like he would do that. Whereas 6ix9ine is like, yeah, let me show you how hard I really am. Look at it, I just shot this guy. I just kicked this dude in the face. Man, we was robbing houses. Look, see, I'm on video. I'm robbing houses. Like, it's not really you.
Right.
Like, you're trying too hard. Like, you seen that guy before? Like, he's out here like, dude, you got all the labels on. Like, you're trying to, I'm up for Versace, Gucci, all the way from top to bottom to try to show like you got all this money. Like, dude, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like that's the difference between Pusha and the rest of these guys. They're portraying a character. They're writing stories and they're putting them audio book of a gangster story versus he's trying to show you and prove to you, like, I'm really that guy. See, I'm doing it. It's like, well, now you're in jail.
Think of Pac telling Brenda's got a baby. He's telling a story. It's not his story, but it's a story, right? So like that's what other real artists, can do. Lyrical artists.
I guess to me, it's just like, where does it define the line of I'm just telling a story to the point where you get your street credentials checked. In that sense, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, you can say,
it's case by case.
Case by case.
I think your story shouldn't be so real to the point that people are really getting in trouble.
Right.
Because there's some people who actually rapped things, and it's like, dude, you just incriminated somebody.
What's his name? The one in jail? YNF Melly?
Oh my God.
He killed two homies and then he rapped about it?
Well, apparently that song came out months before it happened.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But damn, dude, that's sad. See, another thing what sucks is like I noticed a trend, right? I noticed it since Bobby's murder. I mean, I didn't notice it per se, but I've heard
yeah.
Or
Good
like,
call.
You get like predominantly people of color, like black or brown rappers, right? They're young, they're up and coming, and like people love it because you're so raw. I mean, Bobby's murder, that song, Hot N-Word, dude, that shit was fire. Right. And usually they involve some sort of street or a criminal element, like I'm moving weight, I'm shooting, and they have guns in the video.
Right.
They get signed, they get big, and then they get locked up, obviously, because they incriminate themselves. These labels don't do shit for them. The labels do not.
We'll see you later.
See you later, next guy. And we've seen it. I've seen it happen. Who else? There's so many to count.
Yeah, then there's like about the guy like
6ix9ine counts on that too.
Yeah,
he could fall in that group. With the guy that take K, the race.
Oh my God, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Him, TK,
Then there's just been like
Blueface went through it. I don't know if he's still fighting that case. Like
he might be, but yeah, it just seems like this new guy came out, and then like 3 weeks later, just got locked up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Like, what are you? Like, what? Like, are you guys noticing? So you can just be cool for a minute. And I think that's part of the social media era. Is where we're at, where everybody does everything for likes, everything for the clout or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm cool. I got clicks. People are talking about me. It's like, cool. So you got a little bit of money, but $600,000 is not that much money when you're talking about you're facing 25 to life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was going to say your bail, what's your bail amount?
Right. If there's even a bail set, hey, I might do a month if you don't give me $600,000, but I'm not going to do that. You're facing 15 years. It's not a trade-off.
Yeah. Although, man, he talked about Nipsey.
Out.
To me, it's like I'm not one to wish death or not wish death, wish negative stuff. But you said what you said. That's what it is.
And the most
Kodak
whack.
It is what it is. You said that. You shouldn't have said that.
And it's not like you said it today.
No.
Right? It was like within days of what had just happened. Like the city of LA was mourning for like a month and a half.
Right.
And like he said it like day 4.
Yeah. He's like,
but it's a pattern, and it's interesting how it's.
I'll wish bad on him.
It's always like, it's this pattern of it's young kids like, and I don't even know their fucking record label deals. It sucks because I know that like it seems. I mean, I'm not guessing, but I'm assuming like, come from nothing maybe. Like they're hungry, they want to get out. You see in their eyes and their music, they're about it, but like it's just they get caught up in the stuff, and the labels didn't do much,
No, some of them even on their own labels. They're just out there because now you can just do it yourself.
Yeah, so like I think it comes down to taking care of your own, right? So like, in our respective cultures, you have to go back and give back to your people to help them succeed because nobody else is going to give them the tools. So you take J. Cole for example. He wrote that song 1985, and people say it's directed either at Lil Pump or someone like that.
Oh, like the OD, like where like the kids.
Yeah, where he's talking about like, I heard, I'm glad you made enough money to buy your mama a house. Or no, I'm glad you made enough money to get out your mama house. I hope you get enough money to buy your mama a house. But he's giving all these advice to the younger people, and then Lil Pump comes and sits where they meet, and they meet on camera.
It was good.
But like he's giving him like, listen, when I was your age, I thought it was all about money and hoes and like all this stuff, but it's not. And he's just like T always says, like, he used to wear hoodies and chains and whatnot. Then he saw what the game is really about, and it's like, no, I'm gonna wear a white T-shirt and some khakis.
Right.
I'm gonna get some J's though.
Yeah. Did you see his face when Lil Pump was like, yeah, man, I made like 3 songs and I got famous?
Oh yeah.
J. Cole was like, what, really? Like I just went on SoundCloud, and Jay was like, damn, all that work.
Yeah.
But no, I get it. And like with Lil Pump, man, like I like Lil Pump. I like the kid. He seems like a good kid. It's just that, like this phase of face tattoo rap, colorful hair. I think it's going out of style.
I hope so.
But you know what? I mean, I don't.
Sure, I hope so, because
I liked it. But what sucks is
the face tattoo.
Okay, I was gonna go to that. But what sucks, what can't go out of style, what can't fade away from you, are your face tattoos.
Right.
I help at a tattoo shop. I'm going there after this, and we are like, kids want to get their face tattooed. They barely have any. Like, I want to get my face or my neck. I'm like, this can like fuck up your job. No, I want to be a rapper. I'm like, like you shouldn't do that. I don't care. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I think
you've had that. People actually say that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, not those words, but people get upset when we don't want to tattoo. You're in a fucking. I'm in a tattoo shop. We're like, well, we care about your well-being. You're what, 18, 19?
Out the gate, I'm gonna go ahead and just put like a bald eagle on the side of my face.
When we were younger, you saw people with face tattoos. You're crossing the other side of the street.
Yeah.
They fucking kill people.
Yeah.
Like you get your face tattooed last because
because you ran out of space and you still need. Yeah.
Like you get your hands done last because one of the last places because you can't hide that. You can't wear gloves in the summer. Right. You get your neck done last because unless you wear a fucking turtleneck in LA, you don't do that. Yeah. But it's changing. That's
the inspiration. That's the problem with that. It's like it goes back to Tekashi.
It's not just Tekashi.
No. But I'm saying to use that, like they inspire the younger children.
That's
Wayne did a lot of that.
Wayne started
here and all that stuff on his face. He even talked to Drake about that. He's like, yo, like don't do that. He's like, because I can only do Wayne. You can still do other things as Drake before you put all that stuff on.
Yeah. As much as it bothers me, what bothers me the most about that, like Lil Pumps and stuff, is the drug use. Like the amount, like everybody smokes weed, but like the scissor and the pills and like, because they inspire. Because now, like you're saying, you have kids going and getting face tattoos, so they're replicating what they're seeing, what their artists are doing. And like, I don't want no random ass kids that don't have the tools that. I mean, they have. Like Lil Wayne had 3 seizures on the plane, but he has money, right? So like he can be taken to. He was on a private jet. He can be taken to a private hospital or whatever. These kids don't have that.
Well,
and he's already rich.
Yeah,
right.
He's already rich. He was already rich before he got started.
All of his kids are taken care of if something happens to him.
Right.
I think with that, like there was this. Okay, I didn't even know about this. There was this kid named Hella Sketchy. He was supposed to come up. He died yesterday. I heard Adam 22, the No Jumper thing. He's 18. He died of an opiate overdose. Okay. And it's like I don't know. Is it? I mean, I've done drugs. I used to do it. I don't do it as much. A lot of times you do it because you're escaping something, right? Mental health issue. I think there needs to be more of like a dialogue about mental health because a lot of these kids, I'm sure they're dealing through shit, going through stuff, and these drugs seem more accessible and like it's easier to kind of like feel numb for a while. So I think there needs to be a correlation.
Well, the pill side of it is more accessible to these kids because some of their parents are using it or whatever. And it's just kids are being over medicated as well. Like, it's just there's a culture about that. So it's if you're having pills pumped into you at the age of 9 because you have ADHD, your body grows a dependency on drugs. Mm-hmm. So not saying that kids don't need Ritalin, but there's. Again, case by case.
The first thought is like, well, just put them on something.
Yeah. It sucks. You're right. Like that drug use thing. I mean, to me, I like listening to Lil Pump's music.
Me too. I love his last album.
It's just
Harvard Dropout.
It's just we can tell it's not real, but younger kids can't.
Right.
We can tell like you don't do this, but younger kids can't. I like Tekashi 6ix9ine's music up until all the shenanigans. I really believed in him. I'm like, you know what? You tagged all the 69s on you. That's dedication.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it just sucked to see him go. He didn't have to do all that gimmicks and antics to be good.
I think that's the thing. Like he could just made music. Like it wasn't. It's a great like workout fun because he kind of reminded me of like
look,
some
he would have
old
stitched DMX.
Yeah.
I'm not with you guys.
No, he's like some sticky, like some sticky fingers. Come through.
Exactly.
Like just that real hyperactive. Whatever.
You guys don't know what the hell.
But yeah, like it's just like music is everything's different types. Like yeah, I'm not gonna listen to him thinking, okay, I'm about to get some bars.
Yeah,
this is about to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's just straight hype music.
Yeah. I like a lot of this. I listen to a lot of that music, like I guess people say normal rap. It's like good decompression music, hype music. Okay.
Like I look at it like I was saying earlier, like entertaining.
Yeah.
So there's certain movies that come out that you're watching. Oh, this is about to be real good, like a deep drama that you're about to watch, and there's that. Then you go watch a movie and it has Kevin Hart. So you know this movie's about to be goofy as hell.
Yeah.
So you're about to just watch this because you're not like, okay, this is going to be deep. I might even cry. Let me get my Kleenex together. Like, no, you already know kind of what to expect. So that's how I feel about like him. Like I'm not listening to like, man, he's about to inspire me to go do something else. This is like, nope, I'm just about to put this on and go get an extra couple reps.
Yeah.
Like, what the
it was hard for me to stop yelling at fucking Treyway, I'm not gonna lie. It was so hard. I said it at work, my manager laughed, I walked in, it's fucking Treyway! He was cool, he's a floor manager, I fucking say it all the time. Now it's like, can't say that anymore. But him and I think...
Well, now he's getting the street cred that he's so badly needed, so if anything, now you can actually say Treyway.
No.
More than you could then.
No, I can't say it. I don't want to say it. But, so, you said you're Latino, right?
Yeah.
Any upcoming Latino artists that you think that's like...
Upcoming Latino artists?
Or Latinx. I know, Chris Rivers is one, obviously, Big Pun's son.
Not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of my head. Freestyles on Sway.
Because, I know, like, a lot of my Latino friends, oh fuck man, Lil Pump, Lil Xan.
Well, Lil Pump's like, I think he's Colombian and Mexican, something like that.
Lil Xan, I don't really acknowledge him much.
He doesn't exist in my world. Part of being an old head is like, I'll write off people like Lil Xan, Tekashi 6ix9ine, those people don't exist in my world. Whether something, I didn't even know he liked them. He never told me that he liked them because he's a fire music, man. I see. I'm a little older. Like, I'm 31.
Because I don't compare him. Like he doesn't like. He's not like, oh, I like this over this. Because that's where we are. A lot of stuff is like, well, if you like this, you can't like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you like Cardi, so you can't like Nicki. Oh, well, if you like this, you like 6ix9ine, so then who don't you like? It's like, no. It's like he's his own little space. Like you can like both of them.
HL would be like a young Hispanic guy that's coming up. He'd be a big one, like mainstream. We had another guy on our show called the Polo Naps a few weeks ago. He's special.
Dope.
He's special. Like I said, Honest is also very special.
He puts out a lot of music.
He works really hard.
I'm surprised. I'm up on Instagram 2 in the morning. This fool just dropped another mixtape, another project. I like that a lot.
Well, he's like a lot about branding. Both of them actually. They're both, and I think they know each other too. Mm-hmm. They're both a lot about branding. They spend a lot of time. They understand the social media game, and like they're working. They're constantly working. Honest has his Ghost Vice clothing line that he's constantly putting stuff out. Apollo's out there putting music and like just pushing it. So those would be the two Hispanic people in my circle that I am looking at.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. I think it's representation. I think now like China Mac is doing it big for Asians. Heard China Mac? It's that tall Asian dude.
He stopped because him and Jen used to have.
You saw that? You saw that interview?
What about Rich Brian?
Yeah, he's there. I don't. No, he's there. It's not my thing. Yeah, Rich Chigga, Rich Brian. The AA Rising movement is dope.
Oh, Rich Chigga, I forgot about that.
It used to be him.
I forgot about that.
But to me, like again, I need to see development and growth. I'm like a first impressions kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that was you. you know. But 80 Rising's dope. China Mac is like super hard Asian, like he was in prison for like 10 years kind of shit. Came out, he's doing good. He has like his own food show, rapping. He's doing good. Jin was one of my favorites back then. I don't know if you guys listened to Jin. Freestyle Friday.
Yeah, Freestyle Friday. That's right.
I remember that.
Jeez.
He just
And then,
was killing everybody.
it's
Then
just
he got
cool.
signed with like Rough Riders and all that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of
They
faded out.
didn't know how to brand him.
Right.
They learned Chinese songs fire, but looking back, it's like, I don't know, man.
But going back on songs is always a trip. There's some songs you go back and you're like, I like that.
That's how you're gonna feel when you listen to Tekashi 6ix9ine.
No, it's always gonna work on music.
You're gonna go back.
I mean, 89 years old.
It was Tekashi 6ix9ine and freaking Lil Xan playlist. You're gonna be like, I listen to that.
Like, okay, Lil Xan, I like the. It just sucks because he could have done a lot. I mean, he did a song. I like that a lot of Latin music, Latin track is coming up, Anuel. Bad Bunny.
Oh, I love Bad Bunny.
Like, it's just cool seeing that bilinguals like stuff like people.
J
listen to.
Balvin.
Yeah,
Luis Fonsi's another one. I mean,
I think that's really good, man.
and that's funny is that like I've always kept my Hispanic music on like not anti but just not hip hop. Like I like my Latino playlists are like it's romantic music. It's all soft ballads and stuff, you know. So it's only recently, and when I say recently, we're talking about in the last 6 months,
Yeah.
that I've actually started listening to Latin hip hop. You know, Bad Bunny's done a lot to it because like he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and then you know him and like I said, Balvin. It's a couple artists I'm not remembering.
See, like me, like if you go on that, like I like Don Omar.
Don Omar.
Don Omar. Yeah.
Because reggaeton disappeared for a little bit. Like it was huge in like late 2000s.
Yeah,
Huge,
Daddy
huge.
Yankee.
Yeah, Daddy
Yo,
Yankee.
people forget Pitbull was a fucking he was a gangster, dude.
Yeah.
He was selling bricks and shit apparently. But now he's Mr. Worldwide. But
Yeah.
people forget like he was.
Yeah, he came out hard because he was him and like Lil Jon and like all
Yeah.
like he was that like just rough, rugged, you know, just
Dude, he
twerk
was-
music. Now it's
people
like
forget.
the time of my life. You know,
But
like-
again, we're talking about progression.
Right.
He can talk. He talked in songs. This has a techno background, saying like I did stuff in the past that I was ashamed of, but it's where I made me who I am today.
Right.
So that's respect, you know.
Like, you have to at some point you like, okay, well what's next? 'Cause he did it. He was very surprising to me because when he came out and it was during that whole wave of like that Lil Jon screaming on everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I thought like he was just like he'd be the one that'd be more fly by night. But now he's up to the point he got residencies in Vegas and all kinds. I mean,
Does he DJ?
No, he
He
just
does rap. He
does the show.
Is
I
it
mean,
right?
and
Rappers have residency?
I mean, Migos are about to have Drake has a residency.
Drake has a residency.
Oh, I can see Drake, but damn.
Yeah,
Migos
Pitbull
too.
has a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. I'm saying he's had one already. Like he's like a run, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just because hip hop is now the music. I mean, for a while it was like rock was music, and like I don't know, as of like a couple of years ago, like it superseded even that. And it's just kind of crazy how it's kind of everywhere.
I guess because I've always been into hip hop, I always thought hip hop was the music. You know.
Fair.
I mean, a lot of people say rock, but I mean, I don't know much about rock. I mean, it's like the emo and punk stuff, but like the rock, I don't know, like when that. I mean, like to me, 2006, the whole scene emo thing, I was part of it. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the EDM wave? I mean, it's still big now.
It's still huge.
EDC
But like
and all
back
that.
then, there was like 2009. Everything was EDM. Like it was
Like just
big.
house and freaking
Yeah.
raves and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's still around. Like
It's still around.
It's not really my
But
cup of tea.
It's not as mainstream as it was.
No, I mean I don't know. You got like these huge carnivals every weekend now. Like you have EDCs everywhere every weekend.
So you're part of like the My Chemical Romance.
Oh
wave
yeah,
and
I'm a
all
scene
that.
kid, dude.
All that.
Oh, I love that shit.
Yeah.
I was rapping wearing girl jeans, man. It was weird. It was 2006, 2007. There was no skinny jeans for men. I was like the long hair, the fucking lip piercings, and I was fucking battling and shit. Not like
Paint
super
your, paint your
bad.
nails black.
Yeah, I did that a couple times. I was in my steez, but it was a move, man. It was a wave, bro.
He was-
Like, oh, you rap? Holy shit! But yeah,
my
man.
sad boy bag. Just
Yeah, dude, I was in that shit. I was in my sad boy bag before it was cool, man. Joe Budden was the first one to be emo in music, rap. People clowned him for it.
Yeah, when he's like all his mood music. and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, you want mood? Oh, you're a girl. You're a pussy. But now
Wait,
it's
wait, wait.
cool.
What do you mean?
So
he had a wave, like he had a whole series of like
Talked about
of like mixtapes and albums that was
Mood
like it's
music,
called Mood Music.
depression.
Yeah, and he would just talk about just sad.
It was like dark.
Okay, what about Eminem? Eminem came in freaking talking about
But he
suicide
was-
and drug use and
But
like
he
mental health and shit.
He could do that because he wasn't black, right?
Okay.
He could do that, but like seeing someone,
Like we were saying, people of color, we don't talk about these things.
It was,
the white guys. No, you can go. You can be crazy, or you can go to the doctor. but
you can say fuck your mom. You can say fuck your
Right.
mom, rape your baby mom. That's cool. But people are close say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, something's wrong
Who's
with
your
you.
mom?
You
Where's your
can't
dad at?
Okay,
But
fine.
but no.
No, that's true. You're
But,
right.
like,
You're right.
But I meant to talk about, but in depth. I mean, like, I don't know if Eminem just talked about like. I mean, yeah, he talked about it, but Joe Budden like really talked about it. People clowned him for it, like mood music on moves, like, oh, you a girl, you moves, like. So he was the first
We
one.
talk about like I was crying, like I was legitimately sad, like it was like, bro, how is you hard? You can't be hard and crying at the same
You
time.
don't want to
like,
do that when like your homie got shot or something.
Right.
But like he was the first to do it, and Drake really made it like, okay, you can say it now.
Right. Him and Kanye.
Yeah, I can't. Kanye.
You're not a Kanye guy?
I'm not a big. I used to be. He's like the Anakin. He was like the Luke Skywalker. He
But
not
I mean,
Anakin.
but again, talking about just like moods and just that whole, because that's when there was the whole battle between him and 50, who was going to sell the most.
I voted
and
for
50 was hard, like just he was the gangster wave G-Unit, and then and then Kanye was not that. He was like the anti-gangster music with the polo shirts with the the two, one popped and one rolled down, and pink polos and whatever. And he was the one that won with the teddy bear and all that stuff. And then it was like that was like the wave. Now you got the Drakes and everything else.
Man.
He was like the daddy, to all that stuff. And so like now you can make songs where you talk about.
Why don't you like Kanye? Because of his antics?
I think okay. So I like the first three. I listen to them a lot. I think I shitted on 808 and Heartbreaks more than I should have.
Oh my god, that's
like top 5 for him.
It was
all
because
time.
at the time I was into that like, I was into
looking
hip hop.
things,
Oh, what is this? Like it ain't lyrical. What is this? So to me, it was different, right? And then I fell off.
that
I
one
like
in
Dark
my dark
Twisted Fantasy was cool.
That's my other ones in
But
top 5.
the recent political antics.
St. Pablo? You're not into St. Pablo?
I wasn't.
I got a top 5 that's about 10 albums long, but don't mind me.
It was at the time I was like, nah, man, I really wasn't. Maybe I need to give it a listen, but I missed the old Kanye. I know that's hard.
I missed the old Kanye. St. Pablo to me, like it probably hit me a year later than it hit everybody else. Honestly, it was just a space thing. So like maybe my stars and planets aligned at the same place where he was a year before when he made the album. Because when it hit me, I was at work. I remember it was a Saturday, and I listened to music constantly, and I'd already heard it, but I didn't care. But it was a Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it comes on, and like within 90 seconds, like my feelings just like came, and it was just like I stopped and I like listened, and I went back, and then I heard the album, and I cried, and I start over again, and then I hit him up, and I was like, bro, like, have you heard of this album? He's like, do you know where have you been for like a year? Because it's very emotional. Mm-hmm. Like there's very heartfelt things in there. It's very gospel-y. But I don't know, I guess it's the space that you're in. Because again, I wasn't into it when it first came out, like at all. Because I think that and Starboy came out at the same time. I think so. I was more one, and the other one was like, whatever. I listened to it just to listen to it, but it's worth it to listen to for you.
I think that's the biggest thing that I love about music is sometimes it's not so much the album, but what was going on at the time, who else was out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that came out, but you know what? It's like I was really listening to this instead at that time. It's like, no, that was my album. You're not gonna get me off. Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I heard it, but yeah, this one. And then you go back, you say like maybe a year later, 6 months later, dang, how did I miss this? It's like, because that was back when you was in your sad boy bag and it came out. So you weren't really trying to hear that.
Yeah, man. I'll say this: he makes great music, but his choices outside of that, I'm questioning. But hey, wish him the best. I don't know if he's bipolar.
Yeah, he's already claimed that one.
Well, that's the issue. The problem is like weaponizing it, or not weaponizing. There's like a term I want to use it. It's like Well, it's because of bipolar.
It's my superhero.
Yeah.
He said
My superpower.
he said bipolar is awesome in that thing. I'm like,
That's the name of his album.
Like, how can you?
Being
There's a lot of
bipolar is
people that are suffering from this, and you make light of it. I don't know if you're making light of it, make it cool, but like, it's not cool.
It's not, and that's the thing. That's where I have to, because of the fact that I don't have it, I have to assume that he does, and that's his way of dealing with it. You know, because like we're not in that state of mind. We don't know what actually goes on, what it's like to try to go to sleep or just to brush your teeth. Like we don't know what it's like. So, as an artist, if in fact he does, which again I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he does, if that's his way of getting through the day, then hey, cool. And there might be other people that suffer from it that are inspired from that like, look at him just taking on the world, and still, you know, like there's people that have bipolar disorder and they commit suicide, you know, or they're just maniacally depressed, and here's someone who has it and struggles with all these demons, and every time he speaks his mind he gets chastised and the whole world gets turned against him, but he's still just going through it every single day, trucking along,
I can see that.
and appears to be a really good father and a good husband,
Right.
you know. So, you know, that's I don't think I've ever defended Kanye like that before.
Which, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you just said,
Yeah.
because I was on Netflix right now. You've seen that? There's a series.
The David Letterman one?
Yeah, I watched that, and he was talking. Basically, it's like you can either be sad about it and just kind of like, what was me about it, or you can just like embrace it, like this is me. I almost looked at it as, he didn't say this, but it was almost like if someone lost their arms, so you had to learn how to function through your life with no arms. So now you figured out a way to tie your shoes with just your teeth, or you figured out how to like, put your pants on, you know, with one foot at a time, but you managed to do that, and it's so it's not that you're happy that you have no arms, but you're like, hey, there's things that I can do with my feet that you wish you could do with your feet.
Yeah.
Like you could, like, damn, how did you do that? How do you drive with your feet? There's no way I could drive with my feet. It's like, well, if you had no arms, you'd figure out a way to drive with your feet. You start doing flexible things. You start doing how you drive with your feet.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, you know what? I'm bipolar. Got it. Marked it off. I can finally address something.
I never saw it that way.
I can finally address this because I just figured out. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this and I don't understand. Well, it's because you're bipolar.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Okay.
Or
So what do I do with this?
I heard someone talk about, I don't remember who it was, whether it was an interview with his mom from a long time before, or I don't remember where, but like Kanye just has a way of looking at things, which may be from his mental state, but he has a way, like if you tell him that door is open, it's partially closed, right? He just looks at things differently. So
It sounds like you.
I know, that's why I relate with him.
And what about his thing? Oh, slavery is a choice. To me, that was it. I'm like, you know
Well,
what?
It was stupid, right? But like, okay, if you really look at it and like, all right, slavery, it was either you do what you're told to do or you die. That's your choice. So I think that's what he meant, which that doesn't seem like a choice, really. Like, but it's I guess.
Right. But if you really think about it, it was a golden line in Black Panther, the movie, where he was like, I'd rather jump off the side of this ship than to be a slave to it. And she was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, he basically said slavery was a choice. Like, I can take this boat ride all the way to America and be a slave for whatever. He's like, nope, I'd rather jump off and die with my people than to be like a slave over here. And he's like, so that was his same way of saying it without saying it, but it was just when he said it, it was like,
and then you go back to what we keep talking about is growth. Like, what did he do after that? He still went back to TMZ. And then he had Ben Lathan roasted him like crazy. In one of the most articulate scoldings I've ever seen, ever. And it seems that Kanye grew from it because he doesn't say shit like that anymore.
No.
I mean, he still wears the hat, but again, going back to like, no, that door's not open, it's partially closed. Going back to that, he's like, I want the MAGA hat to represent something else.
Right.
You know?
And he addressed that on the thing too. He's like, his thing was like, look, it's not that I'm necessarily supporting him, but his thing was, but what I do support, and as a creative, I support open dialogue.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I'm like, okay, I can understand that, because there's a lot of people, and we've talked about this before, is like when Donald Trump was running for office, and and there's a lot of people, oh well, he's a businessman, he can bring this, he's a new perspective, and this and that. And my whole thing that I didn't like about, I mean, I was like, I get that. Like, I mean, I've read most of his books. I mean, I went to school as a business major, and so I mean, there's a lot of those things. But what I didn't like was the people who were getting really excited. But there's a lot of people who were like, you know, yeah, let's get rid of the Mexicans and all these black people and gotta go to jail. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who just they had a lot of racial undertones
Right.
who were getting excited about him being there. So for me, like, that was the part I was like, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that kind of stuff, I'm like, I mean, I hope you do well, but that could be ugly. And then here we are, 2-3 years in, and it's like we got people running over people because we're at protests. We've got people every week. I mean, it's just stuff that's going on.
To me, I'm very cynical in the sense, I think it's all promotion. I think because I listen to so much Joe Budden, it's all fucking Yeezys, fucking whatever.
Like,
to
your
me,
album's coming, an album's I smell an album.
And also, too, you gotta think, like, look who he's married to and look who the mom is. This mom is solely responsible for this Kardashian way of, like, being famous for, I mean, famous to a degree. I mean, they have talent, but, like, she essentially pimped out her family.
You go before that, though. So, like, everyone says, like, she pimped out her family. Yes, but that started way before before any of the Kardashians were even born.
Really?
Yeah, or I don't know when they were born, but so Bruce Jenner, right, in the 80s. So Michael Phelps nowadays, when he can retire for life and never have to worry about money whatsoever because he won a bunch of gold medals.
Right.
Well, back then, when Bruce Jenner was a triathlete champion or whatever, that does nothing for you. He's on the cover of a Wheaties box. There's no money. There's no money there. You'll get some sponsorships, but that's every 4 years. Once the Olympics were over, then what? So Kris Jenner capitalized on his name. She started having him do infomercials at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, just getting his name back out there, starting to sell him workout equipment and all this bunch of stuff. So, like, that's smart.
That's very smart. I take back the pimping part.
Then he gained back up. Well, no, and then you know, Kim. They were already in a world because they, you know, the Kardashian, the dad, and like they still lived in lived in a certain world. You know, Kim was a hustler. She worked with Paris Hilton. You know, she was like a closet organizer, but she was her friend. Then she has her video come out, which is an intimate video with her boyfriend at the time. That's just some random person. So that happens, and then the mom capitalizes on the curiosity that people have. And she built an empire based on that. So when people like talk about the Kardashians in a not in a negative way, but not positive about them, it's like well, hold on. Like, how much trouble do they get in? Like, you know, what bad things have they done?
The kimono thing is stupid.
The Kim kimono thing, right? But she's not selling it, from what I.
She trademarked the name.
Yeah, trademarked
right?
the name, but she's not selling kimonos.
Yeah, she's not selling kimonos, and I think I don't know.
Yeah,
but they seem to be good people. So Kanye married to Kim, you know. So I don't watch the show, but if it's on, I'm watching it. Right? So like, when I see their thing and I see how Kim is with everything in life, you know, the criminal justice thing that she's doing, or just the way her other siblings go about, you don't see them getting in trouble for drugs. You don't see them getting in trouble with the law. Maybe their biggest thing is Khloe likes to choose the wrong men. You know, she's attracted to the wrong dudes. You know, and that's where a lot of the drama comes from. But I don't know. For the most part, they seem to be alright.
They seem to be cool. I mean, good business stuff. One can say that, you know, they profit off black culture is one other thing. You know, the people they've been with. Braids.
Yeah, but they're minorities too. They're Armenians. So
Armenians technically are considered white in the.
What?
Yes. By law, they made them. Yeah, they're considered white in the.
Wait, is this because of the genocide thing?
No.
They're like, all right, we'll teach you guys.
But I think in the census, they can be considered. They can, like, they're white passing. I think they're like.
I think they do. I think white people do that a lot, because you see like Hispanic non-white or something, like just some kind of check boxes like.
Yeah, I think they were smart to, like, in the census back
so
then.
everybody kind of jump on, except for us. You can never get a jet.
I mean, but like again,
black people don't get a checkbox like that. Well, we're black, but like white, but there's like.
Black,
not
like just color in the corner of white.
Yeah, but it's not to take away from the Armenian genocide and everything. For sure, that was fucked up. But
then everybody's jumping on that. If you think, like, you see how many like reality shows there are, then just the space of like Facebook and Instagram and going live, like all that is like, to me, is like an offspring of that. Follow me around. Hey, look how cool I am too. Hey, I do, because they just, if you really think about it, like Kardashians just do regular stuff. You look, I mean, I've seen like episodes. They're just shopping.
Yeah.
And it's like, follow me shopping. And we're having family dinner. Oh, watch us have family dinner. But you look at how many people in real life that are like, I'm going live, we're having dinner. Look, we're having dinner here. Or hey, look, I'm out shopping. Or hey, I'm doing like just regular things. But if I put it on live or make a video of it, I'm trying to show you, hey, I'm cool too. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of an offshoot of what they've done, and hopefully it can bring some sort of like, now I'm a brand. Like everybody feels like they're one step away from being a brand.
I'm gonna see how time it is because I know at 1:40 it's dead.
Okay.
1 second. Oh shit, we're at 1:39. Okay. In the past, I had my previous interview. It died at 1:40. We don't hear it beeping, so that's good. So we can talk a little longer. It's such a good conversation. We're just going in.
Let's just go.
But no, I just think that like I guess I'm cynical in a sense, right? I think there's some sort of marketing ploy, like the Sunday service thing. He's selling like $60, $70 merchandise in his gospel, but where does the money go? Is he capitalizing off of a religion? Does that money go back to church kind of thing? To me, that to me,
I feel there's churches that do that though. Like
churches
that just.
But like, what does that really mean? Because like, what does church really mean? The church is really about the congregation. So if he's spending money to, somebody's got to pay for all the people playing the instruments.
It's outside, right?
Yeah, but church is the people, right? The congregation. So like, somebody's got to pay for the guy in the tuba. Somebody's got to pay for the guy with the microphone. Who's paying for all this equipment? So I'm sure he's not getting rich off of them, but.
He's like, cool, I paid for the gas and the time it took me to get here. And then I had all these people, and then my choir, I paid them. True. They're all professional.
I've never defended the Kardashians.
Yeah, yo, I'm like, damn. Okay. You have good points. I like this.
I mean, I don't know if he's throwing an offering plate as well. You know, it's like.
That'd be funny.
But if he's just like, if he's selling $60 shirts,
like a Yeezy bucket hat being passed around with holes in it,
right? Just to be here, like, okay, I'd probably be a little more closer, but like you said, hey, all this takes money. I even feel that about.
He has money.
Churches, yeah, he does.
But it's like,
he's like, no, this is just paying for this. I'm not coming out of pocket for this. I'm not going to lose money on the deal. But I mean, hey, all the money, the proceeds goes. All of these people that make the music for this all helps their families. I just covered my gas to get here. That's
right.
it.
I wish him the best, but at the same time, I wish Drake would, bust the left, cut the lights,
Oh.
I wish.
Just to kind of see, like, pull the curtains back, see what he's got.
Yeah,
over there.
I think Drake is scared of. No, Kanye's scared of Drake.
Well, Kanye's not gangster, and I mean, I'm not saying Drake. He's not, but he's a little. He's not, but his association's a little more rugged. Like Drake's had bottle throwing fights against Chris Brown. Yeah. He's had actual beefs.
Arguing over a woman that neither of them were with.
Yeah, that neither of them were with. To where Kanye, I can't think of any.
At one point, he was rolling with Rockefeller. Rockefeller had Beanie, he had Dipset. I love the Cameron.
So gritty.
Yo, I love. Y'all listen to the new recent Diplomat album?
No, I didn't try to.
There's this dope verse by Cameron. He's just going off on Kanye. It was kind of cool.
I'm gonna have to go check.
Bipolar? What? You said you was bipolar? Get the fuck out of here. But see, some people love Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. Some people want to be Jay-Z. You want your Cameron. Cameron, just something about him. Like he's sick as his rhyme pattern, his like melody is dope. Like something about it's dope. I don't know. I can't explain it, but damn, Get 'Em Girls and Oh Boy and like.
Yeah, he just Mr. Cameron. He just like he has his own voice, which is the one thing that I miss about the older. Everybody had their own sound. When that music came on, you knew exactly who was about to get on. Beanie sound like Beanie. Cameron sound like Cameron. Jay-Z sound like Jay-Z. DMX sound like DMX. Eminem's on the verses. Oh, that's Eminem. You can tell. But now, you gotta like you can't. Who's on right now? I don't know who I'm listening to. Not even I don't know the name. I just can't tell these people apart. That's the part that I don't like about right now.
Remember the Mace and Fabulous?
Yeah, that
was big.
That was in that same thing. Like they kind of their
Fabulous,
flow was pretty similar.
What was it? I think people are accusing other people of biting rhymes. Like who else?
Who's what's his name?
Bone Thugs?
Yeah, no, it was who run the bangs? I can't think of the name right now. Oh my God, I feel like forgive me, because that was one I should probably know right off the top of it. But
what are you trying to say?
There's she's got the one he was with the Diddy, and he had the whole thing with J-Lo and the shooter, and he had this
Shine,
yeah,
Shine and Mace.
Yeah, so like the same sounds.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and where it's
that's right. They was comparing them.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So there's different. I couldn't think of it. I was like, what is his name? I was going through all the songs, but I was like, nope. What's his name? But yeah, just the sound, like when you. So it becomes a big deal now. Like nobody says anything. You just all this. Yeah, cool. Y'all can sound like Future if you want to.
I think it's also there's more accessibility now, because I'm sure there's a lot of other rappers that impersonate other rappers, but now it's more like social media and it's seen. But I think now it's like not everyone wants to be a lyricist anymore, and that's okay.
You just want to catch.
It's different. It's not valued. Being a top tier lyricist isn't valued like it used to be.
Because when you think of lyrics, you think of Logic, but you think of.
Why are you in the game?
Yeah, I think
like that. I think is the big part.
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
So you have back in the day where it's like, man, I'm trying to be the baddest on the block. Anybody come challenge me? Oh, you want to freestyle? I see you. And you go back and forth. And I want to out rap you. I'm gonna out rap you. But now it's not so much that. It's like, yo, I'm just trying to get a bag. Man, I'm poor. I'm just at home. All I got is this little prepaid cell phone, but I can set it up and put my little thing here, and then I'm gonna rap into the camera, and we're gonna run around the grocery store or Walmart and do these little antics and then just rapping. And then now I'm featured. Now I can do this little ad for Smart Water, Tummy Tea, whatever, and then now I've made some money. I don't care if I'm here 10 years from now. I just made $500,000. I get $5,000 a show. I'm doing 3 shows a week. Like I don't. So if next year you don't listen to me anymore, it doesn't matter. I made $500,000 this year. Just being a little feature.
Is that something? But I can see like when I was younger, more purist. I can see that's messed up. Right. Being adult, be more grown. I don't see what's wrong with that. If it got you in a better position in life where you don't have to do negative things, if you can feed your family off of it, how is that messing up my life?
Right, and I think that's where we're getting at, because the popular stuff is the stuff that's like, is it going to be here? But because we like that, we like to see stuff stick around. But you're like, hey,
because we base success on longevity.
That's how it is. You can't fake longevity. You can't buy numbers for longevity. Mm-hmm. It just happens. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, hey, he might be Old Town Roadie for the next 3 years and never have another smash hit. But if he's like, hey,
he could have though. You could have done so much more with that album.
And just keep
so upset about it.
There's new. I mean, is it good?
It's okay.
Did he rap or is it country?
It's rap. It's rap.
There's a couple.
He's got one song. He's got one other song. Well, he's got Old Town Road there twice, the original and the remix, and then another country-ish song.
Rodeo with him
and then the rest of it is pretty just rappy, which is fine. It's just it to me. If you take off Old Town Road, the rest of the album just can get lost with all the other Lils and out there.
What about what's really good? I like Dave East a lot.
Yes. Dave East is dope as hell.
Beloved.
Yeah.
Really good collab.
Yeah. Beloved is
him. I like him a lot because he's one of the few that can be respected by like the OGs and then you guys, and he can develop a sound where both audiences can enjoy it.
Right.
And that's really rare.
Because he's telling stories.
Yeah, he's a big time.
As opposed to I'm just making songs over beats. Mm-hmm. Like those ones stick around, mm-hmm. or the ones that gets the respect longer or from different. Because like you said, older we're like, hey, we like a good story, we like a good this. So those are the ones I'm gonna play that in the car before I'm sitting here and listen to.
Yeah, the younger generation wants to get hype. They want.
I like the hype stuff, music. Man. I think I was so into like the underground hip hop, like I gotta bar someone out for like so many years. Now it's like it got to the point I was super like that into rapping. I realized, I'm not an Eminem, I'm not a Jadakiss, I'm not like a Royce the 5'9". Right. And like I listened, I'm like I wasn't having fun anymore. But to the point I was doing competitive rap, like trying to be barred out, and it's fun once in a while. But I kept doing that. It's like I can't even enjoy this music because I'm always trying to be a little more intellectual and everything. So I felt bad doing more like hype stuff, but it's not like typical hype stuff, I guess. I don't degrade women in my songs. Not on some like, again, I hate Saints. Logic's a good guy. I'm not on some like corny ass shit like, oh, you know, but like I just don't really do that. And I think I'm getting a lot more women, like as a fan. Oh, I like your music. You're not like calling me a bitch. And then, but you know, to people that do that, that's fine. Do your thing. But to me, I think of that stuff. Like, oh, well,
It's because your audience, though. It's also what you're going for. So like, there's songs out there where rappers are saying bitches and hoes, and the girls are in there. Yeah, bitches, right here.
But the thing is too, like it's not me though. I don't call women that in real life, and if you want to do it, that's your thing. It's not me. I don't call them that, so it's like I don't.
You stay within your natural space. What's organically coming from you.
Yeah. But to me, I just did that, and like with the Late Bloomer thing, I didn't like ASAP Mob until 2014. That's late. Did you like ASAP Mob?
So I didn't like ASAP Mob till like 2000 and what are we on 19? So like right around the same time as you. And it was because I went to the BET Experience concert and I saw ASAP Rocky and Schoolboy Q. And actually, not to take over your story,
that's okay.
But I ended up seeing ASAP Rocky at multiple concerts after that. Like he would be a feature. Then I went to an ASAP Mob concert, which I did not like because there's like 30 of them and they all had microphones. And it was very much set up. One, it was at the Shrine, which is a horrible place to go to a concert if you're above the age of 25.
You go there for raves.
Because it's like GA, right?
Yeah.
And it was all black screen, and they're just up there. It's like everyone had a microphone screaming and shit. But then about 3 or maybe 6 months ago, ASAP Rocky had a concert. Now, mind you, all this time I became an ASAP Rocky fan and an ASAP Mob fan. But I saw him perform. It was just a concert, just him, with features like Tyga and Drake and all them. But he performed, and he is a legitimate freaking rock star. He is. When it comes to his freestyle rap game, with the guys that are out there right now, he's up there. He's up there with Joey. He's up there with Cole, in my opinion. He's up there with K. Dot because he's that good. ASAP Mob. You got Rocky. You got Ferg. You got 12E.
Nasty.
You got Ant. And then that's about it for me. But ASAP Nasty's cool too.
I think a lot of them maybe. Yeah, it's tough, like to live under ASAP Rocky's shadow. But they're more into fashion too.
Right. Well, Rocky particularly is into fashion a lot.
But it must be tough living under that shadow.
Like Ferg is dope though.
He's dope.
Ferg's hella dope.
Yeah.
But
he headlined last year. He headlined one of the BET nights. It was a Ferg and I can't remember what the other ones, but a Ferg headlined one of the BET nights.
That's dope.
Oh, it was Ferg and Ray Sherman. They headlined.
I heard they're really good too.
Ray Sherman?
Yeah.
I've seen them a bunch of times.
The group. Well, the group is good.
The Ray Sherman?
Ray Sherman, Slim, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's Slim Jimmy and Sway Lee.
Yeah, dude. Really
We
good.
talk about this. We've seen them in concert several times. Not intentionally. They just are guests. Never once have they worn a T-shirt. I've never seen either one of them with a shirt on.
I gotta go to these BT Experience shows. Like that sounds.
Dude, they're dope. This year was.
The first time I seen them was they were brand new. I think they just had like their one.
Black Beatles was fire.
Even before Black Beatles, like it was. They opened for. They had a few years ago at the Hollywood Bowl. It was Drake and Lil Wayne, and it was like Drake versus Wayne. And that was like the show at Hollywood Bowl, and they were the opener. Wow. But they were brand new, didn't know them from anything. And that was like the first time I was like, oh, all right, okay, I can give it that.
They're hella dope. They're hella dope. Sway Lee's very talented.
Some say that it's all him.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. But
I don't want to say that.
His talent level is very diverse. Where Slim Jimmy is kind of like he's probably good, but he doesn't have that rock star persona. So like Sway Lee will come out. I haven't seen him with a shirt, but I've seen him with like a cowboy vest.
So kind of like this this is like not in full scope, but it sounded like Outkast. Like in the way you guys spelled that. I'm not saying lyrically, because don't shoot me.
Yeah.
I'm saying like how like Andre 3000 is like the eccentric one, and just like and Boy's really good. His lane, he's very much a rapper. And then Andre, who has crazy bars, but he has that rock star.
Before you say the sacrilegious shit that you're saying, I can't let you go down the sacrilegious path.
No. I'm just saying this.
You could see Big Boy on multiple features. He is on multiple features in music, right? Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm sure he has albums out. He's a huge name, right? How many Slim Jimmy features can you name off the top of your head?
None.
None.
Okay.
But I can name.
I'm not saying
you're
No,
insulting.
No, I'm not at all. Zero. You defended Kanye all day.
It's fucking Treyway. It's fucking Treyway.
But the
It's terrible. All right.
Sorry, I get what you're saying.
But after they dropped the one, the speaker box lived below, like it got questionable, like what they were gonna do because they were because it was like, man, like everybody is leaning this one way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like you said, he's like talent wise, I said they're
And I
not
don't
comparable talent wise,
knock
but
them.
just how that's because you're the one to say like, whoa, who's one? Like, well, what about him? You're like, I don't want to say it
because I'm sure he's talented. I don't want
Slim
to.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, he's
I don't want to
talented.
see. He's just
But it's like this.
Yeah.
And even when you're there,
the space between. That's all I was saying.
You feel it. You feel the energy. Like props to Sway because he could easily be like just nah. But he's up there hyping him.
And another one.
It's his brother. I mean,
Another one. Another one I
Justin
want to say.
Timberlake, this thing.
Another one I want to say it's fucked up. Busta Rhymes and Split Star.
Oh, okay. In the same kind of thing where you're like as your
It's a hype man.
group, yeah, like
And,
that's it. Just be the hype guy.
Maybe sacrilegious. Sorry, that's my
Do
opinion.
it.
They're both dope. Little brother, Fontaine, Big Pooh.
I don't know.
Okay, I was just listening to this.
They're dope, man.
Yeah.
It's just Fonte is a very talented lyricist. So is Big Pooh. It's just one is just
Svante is just out there.
he's next level.
He's in, but that's but any group you're gonna be like that.
Tell him Black Star. They're both good. It's just both have different circumstances. Yasin Bey had a bunch of issues outside of music.
Right. No, because you were saying because the other ones I was like, okay, I give you Fonte over Pooh. I was just listening to that.
Binary Star, they're both dope.
But I was sitting there like, because I'm like, I love to live Kweli.
I love Mos Def too.
And then I love Mos Def. I'm like,
I'm more of a Mos Def guy.
I think Mos Def has more mystique about him.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like he'll drop something and disappear. So versus Talib is always out there. So anytime you're heavily available, the mystique of you kind of drops a little bit, which is kind of what they say about celebrity nowadays. Because before it's like, oh, that's a superstar. They're in this space, but now they're on your phone every single day. You're seeing what they're doing, what they have for lunch. So it's like they just kind of, they're more humanized when you can see them every day as opposed to just in the movie, just on the TV show. So, give me a second on that.
MF Doom is super mysterious.
Yeah,
I heard.
mask and all that.
I heard he even has like fake MF Dooms on purpose performing his shows.
Just so it's kind of like the Jabberwockies. You don't know who's actually performing. They just put the mask on, do the dance, move in, move out. Somebody broke a leg, somebody went on vacation. You're like, I don't know, just do the dance, clown.
I think it might die soon. Should wrap it up.
Sure.
Where can we find y'all on? Dan, that was such an anticlimactic, but it's okay.
You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Pretty sure we're on SoundCloud. I think we're on YouTube. We opened a YouTube channel, and I should probably verify because I was really more worried about the visuals. I didn't care about the audio on YouTube, but we're definitely on the main 4 platforms. Actually, I think Pod Bible as well. And
nice.
We're in pretty much everything.
Good.
Google Play.
That's good, man.
I
just did that. What's that?
For all you green texters.
Yeah.
Google Play.
I just I just did that because the last time I couldn't get that off because like the camera died. So I just want to make sure that it's been a great conversation. I wish it could
also on IG.
It could have kept going. It could have kept going. If I didn't check, it could have kept going.
Come on, you can come on with us one day. We can keep talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Also, don't forget you have the ShipHop Hour on IG.
Yeah.
He's at Alexander the Great 511. I'm Thoroughgood World.
Awesome.
And then you can check your boy out. And you can
Dipset Harlem.
It's fucking Treyway.
with the